Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Hearts of Stone. Thank you for joining us for our lovely Blades in the Dark game here this Saturday afternoon. Everyone's here. No one's sick. No one's traveling. We did it. We got here for a stream. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started here in a second. But before we do, talk about what we've got going on the channel this coming week, barring any other unforeseen circumstances. I believe our next regular scheduled live stream will be on Monday. We'll be back with Red Jenny playing the Dragon Age TTRPG. So you can come join us for that at 8 o'clock Eastern Time as usual. Otherwise, you can check out our schedule below our faces if you're watching us live on Twitch and see everything that we've got in our lineup. Lots of fun shows for you to come see. I don't remember if this is a Tuesday week or not, but time is relative, and depending on when you're watching this, it may or may not be. I can't think of anything else. That's probably it. So might as well just jump right in, let my lovely cast here introduce themselves, talk about who they are, what they do on and off the channel, and who they are playing tonight, starting as always with Van.
That's me. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internets at Van, but Wilder, pretty much wherever you can find people on the internet. I'm on Mastodon. I'm on Blue Sky. Mostly I hang out in the GGK Discord and shitpost about this week, Starfield. It's good, baby. Come play space games with me. Build your own spaceship. All kinds of fun stuff. And I stream on Twitch. Spaceship! I stream on Twitch several times a week, Sunday nights on twitch.tv/lbhackemup, starting tomorrow for new Alien mini-series. Yeah, that one. It's all space all the time in my brain right now, baby. And then on GGK Thursdays through Mondays, playing in games, and usually running Dungeons & Dragons on Saturday mornings when I am not plagued with vertigo from migraines. We'll be back for that. Next week, probably. We have a couple people that are traveling, but we'll let you know. But today, I'm not doing any of that. Today, I'm playing Glass, who is the Whisper.
Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the internets at Greek Sid. I'm here Thursdays through Mondays playing in games. That's about it, really. I am playing Salome today, and she is our spider.
Hello, everybody. I'm RJ. You can catch me RJ282 on Twitter, Twitch, Blue Sky, and over at the Indoor Adventures on Monday for a 5e homebrew campaign. We're in the end zone. Come check it out. We're gonna go fight some worms in space. Thursday over at the Hype Goblins. This week we are going to a dinner. Hopefully it doesn't end in shambles, because we also have to do some sleuthing. Saturday we'll talk about that in a second, and Sunday mornings back over the Hype Goblins, where we do Pathfinder. I think that's about it. Today I'm playing Fume, who's the leech.
Today.
Is it me next?
It's you.
I swear
Everyone else
you
is
and
gone.
Sid used to be switched. Hey everybody, I'm Wings. Also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on the Indoor Adventurers stream. Today I'm playing as Grackle, who is the Hound.
And that's me, and I need to draw attention. Did you say you're in the end zone? Are you playing a football game, RJ?
What?
You said you're in the end zone on Monday, so
We are near.
You mean the end game?
in the end game.
No,
End zone,
I
end
like
game.
end zone. I think
I
we should
like
keep
in the
it.
end zone.
We're there
We're
to
in
score
the
a
end
hole
zone.
in one for the home team.
Slam
Yeah.
dunk touch ball. Hi everyone.
Touch ball.
We have to get the
Val.
bocce
Home
ball
run?
close.
Home run. Home dunk. Hi everyone. I'm
Oh.
Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Ground, lurking around the internet. I'm here Thursdays through Mondays, playing and running games and/or running games. You can catch me on lots of shows on this channel. Other than this game, I run the aforementioned Red Jenny on Mondays, where you can catch us playing Dragon Age. And then off this channel, I will also be on Sunday, joining the formerly Playthings crew as Rage takes us into space for aliens. So you should come join us for that. It's going to be a ton of fun. That is it for me. I run this game here today, kind of, sort of, occasionally. Are y'all ready to get started? Okie dokie. Well, I'll do the best I can at a recap because I didn't think about a recap until right now. Previously on Hearts of Stone, your crew engaged in their second job. You had been tasked by my Lara Clev, the leader of the Red Sashes, to complete a job to prove your value to her group. You initially approached her earlier on for a sort of mutual business arrangement that would involve the production and sale of Dream Smoke. She was not swayed enough by your proposal and had asked you to strike a blow to one of the Red Sash's main enemies stepping in on their turf, a faction called the Hive. You agreed to take down 3 businesses belonging to the Hive in the quarter of Silk Shore, specifically in the Ease, part of your own turf. And you need to do that all in one night. We set up for a job, and you came up with the plan to burn the buildings down. She had said that was an option offhandedly, and you all took that and ran with it. Fume had created a series of devices which would be used, charges that would be set in each of these buildings to create this destruction. You had infiltrated the first of these establishments under the guise of being bluecoats, there for an inspection. You had succeeded in this ruse and were given a monitored run of the place, a supervised run of the place. Through a little bit of shuffling and subterfuge, you were able to get Fume in to set his charge, while the rest of you left to go, or I think some of you left to go to place the remaining charges, planning to sync them up and set them off all at the same time. That's when things started to go a bit wrong. Glass started summoning some ghosts, which seemed to be going pretty well at first. However, when the plan was at the crux of being executed, I'm trying to remember who was the one that set off. I think it was Fume was the one that fully pushed us over into detected status, and set off alarms at the nightclub that he had infiltrated after failing to open some saves in the hidden basement and then getting caught as he left. As that panic began to start, you quickly sprang the action, trying to put the last of these devices in place. You were forced to go with a backup option in which Salome put the last device against the side of the building, and Grackle would then fire from a distance to set off the device using her marksman skills, however failed in the process and killed a civilian. Glass attempted to fix the situation by using a spirit, which I think resulted in a mixed success, which led to the spirit torching the building, however losing control of it, and it seemed to possess the body of the bartender that had been accidentally murdered by Grackle. You were able to escape despite some injuries taken by Fume, and reconvened after a mostly successful mission, having completed your objective. You had learned in the process, as Glass, I believe, had uncovered some documents in the safe of one of the Hive hidden offices, of some letters, some correspondence between the Hive and the Foundation, specifically some rather threatening letters from a figure called the Baron. Salome seemed to have knowledge of who this person is and knowledge that they somehow connect to Grackle. We left off last time, beginning you guys got paid. We got our entanglement, which we'll call soon, and then Fume Grackle took Fume to get some medical treatment, hitting up a acquaintance named Melvir in Charter Hall over at the Alchemist Parish, where you brought Fume for medical care. And as Grackle left, Fume took his treatment into his own hands, revealing that Fume is actually occupying a hull. And I think that's it. That's it. So, where we pick up today is we are in downtime, baby. So we have now taken one downtime action, but we have 7 more left to do, depending on what y'all want to get up to. But I think, since I've had a week to think on it, before we get in any more downtime, I'd like to do one thing specifically first regarding your entanglement. Glass. Hi.
Hi.
I'm gonna call this y'all are laying low. I mean, laying low is relatively speaking. You do have a wanted level, GTA style, but you are not being actively hunted or pursued, but not taking any on any jobs. Mostly just engaging in your regular business at the jewelry box. So I imagine that's what Glass would be doing, is your normal gig as a courtesan, or I don't know if that's the
I've been using the word companion.
As a companion,
Which I like.
I like that too. I think that's more in line with kind of Glass's thing. It is late in the evening, 3 days after your last job, and the jewelry box is full right now. You have some good business coming in, lots of clients. I don't think you've seen a client here yet tonight. I imagine Glass is pretty selective with their clients.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not like putting, it's more quality over quantity for Glass.
They can afford to be selective at this point.
Also, again, trying to lay low after a rather stressful job. So I'm setting the scene with Glass, but I think probably most of you are at the jewelry box right now. Salome doing her normal gig as the proprietor, moving around, keeping tabs on everyone. Fume working behind the bar. Grackle working security. Who do you think? Do you have a patron, a client that you think you're seeing tonight? I don't want to put you on the spot, but anyone in particular?
Somebody that would come to the jewelry box.
Mhm.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can just say, Joe, like just somebody random.
Sure.
You have, what is your normal kind of like? So I imagine you have your room there and stuff, but what is your normal like kind of like routine? Do you like speak with the person like at the bar, have a couple of drinks, talk to them a little bit, and kind of feel out where they're wanting the night to go?
I think usually, especially for like newer folks, newer clients, I think,
Yeah.
I mean, they have a couple of regulars and they have like an established routine with, but
We can say this is a new client.
so yeah, probably just sitting at the bar.
Okay. We'll say I'll just go with Joe.
Sure.
Middle-aged, kind of bureaucrat. A lot of stress. Mostly just kind of wants to talk through it. Looking for somebody to, you're not picking up bad vibes. You're not picking up necessarily any exciting vibes with this person, but it seems like it'd be a good client for you to have in this case. So, we'll say you've been speaking for a bit, and finally, hitting the point where you've finished off a bottle of wine, and you decide, let's go back to somewhere private we can speak alone. You head around. I just realized I could take us back to the. Let's take everyone back to the lair since we're in downtime.
Yeah.
Loading. There we go. There you are. Y'all can move yourselves and all your normal shit once you get there. You're heading back to your room on this floor, not your personal room, but your room for business. And you head in through the pulling aside the curtains here. I realize this is another good establishing question. Obviously, fantasy or One More Multiverse doesn't necessarily have doors that I can put on stuff easily and allow y'all through. Do these rooms have doors, or do you think they're mostly curtained? Like they're safety concerns either way. Just curious.
So probably common areas are more curtained, but rooms where people can take clients back or personal rooms probably have doors.
Okay. That fits for me.
I doubt they lock though.
Yeah. Doors for
I
privacy.
think glasses would.
Okay.
Glass could use their discretion on that. Also, it being their personal room.
I'm special.
Yeah, I mean, you are kind of the like money making, like you're the one, like the only companion that is officially like employed by or is part of the establishment. The others kind of come and go. So
I'm the only employee. Everyone else a contractor.
yes, exactly. So yeah, you had then here's what I will say. You head to the door to your room here, and it is closed, which is normally left open because nobody else uses it except for you, and you only close it when you have a client. Otherwise, the door is usually left open, so Grackle can keep an eye on where people are coming and going. And Grackle would have stopped somebody if they went into your space uninvited.
Speed drafty. I'm gonna open it to just very briefly kind of like cock my head to the side a little bit and like listen to see if I hear anybody in there. Trying not to be too weird about it.
Yeah, I mean, you put your head to the door and listen. You don't hear anything. Completely silent on the other side.
Okay, then I'll try to open it.
All right. Open the door. Dimly lit room, the candle sputtering, the lantern sputtering on the desk, light kind of reflecting off the vanity. Nobody's on the bed, but you catch a shape to your side, a silhouette being cast by the lantern between you and it. And as you turn, you see a figure sitting in the chair next to the vanity. A tall man with a wearing a very like a black cloak,
Slenderman.
with a little like gold chain, kind of like attachment at the top. Underneath, black suit with a with like red accents to it, and a red vest underneath. He has a high collar, very angular, pale skin, and
Oh, I just
grayish
realized
white
it.
hair that is kind of swept to the side, very well kept, almost statuesque in nature, and light brownish eyes that almost in the light reflect slightly red.
I'm gonna stop opening the door where I am. Turn around. I'm gonna say this. I think because I think maybe this is something we would have. There's like some kind of phrase that Glass will will say like Joe, like would you actually like give me a few minutes to freshen up? Like, would you give me a few minutes to freshen up? Tell you what, go to the bar and ask Fume there for the single malt. And I think when Glass's customers ask like for this specific theme, that's like code to Fume, like, hey, stall for me, please, bud. Stall for me.
Oh, single malt. Did they specify which one of the single malts out there? Oh, well, it is a Tuesday, so that means just blathering
Whole
on.
Oh, I knew he wouldn't let me down.
Joe, completely oblivious, just like systems. So, oh yeah, that sounds fine. Just enjoys it. Just
You know what? Have a
happily.
sampling.
here's a flight of single malts. Please enjoy.
Select.
And
think that's always what
enjoy
it
getting
is.
trashed.
It's just yeah, go ask Fume for the single malt, and I'll be right out. All right, now I'm gonna lock the damn door. I want to know how he got in here.
I'm gonna go ahead and put him. Gonna drag and drop. No.
Did I drag and
There
drop?
we go.
You
There
have to
we go.
invite him in.
You see Lord
God,
Skurlock.
he is tall, huh?
Sitting at the vanity waiting for you.
Well, what a surprise. Usually I come to you, not the other way around.
I'd say it likely is. I apologize. I don't normally drop in on you uninvited.
No, you don't. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Just watch Grackle draw a gun.
Don't worry about
it.
Don't worry about it.
Screen here. Oh my god.
Don't worry about it. That's completely normal, actually.
That's the only way I can equip my equipment.
You what was the last question you asked? Sorry, that really
To what
distracted.
do I owe the pleasure? Honor? Whatever.
Yes, I suppose straight to business. Reaches to the side, kind of in the area that's silhouetted in shadow by the light cast from the lantern, grabs something and tosses it forward beneath you, and it hits. Thum, 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 rolls towards you before kind of listing to the side. You see a human head lying on the ground between you.
Are those your leftovers?
My leftovers. I've told you many times, I'm not a vampire.
Not convinced.
No, I believe this is your mess.
I like nudge the head with my foot.
You do.
I know you.
And you recognize the face. This is the bartender that Grackle shot a couple days ago.
Poor thing. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't kill him.
No, but I recognize your work in bringing him back.
It's a bit of an emergency situation.
You were sloppy.
I was cleaning up other people's messes.
and created an even bigger mess.
Are you here to lecture me?
No, I was hoping for a thank you.
For showing up, calling me sloppy, and throwing a decapitated head at me. Oh, yes. What a gift.
Maybe I misunderstood. I thought you'd be worried about where this creature had run off to.
Perhaps a bit. Where did you find him?
Oh, I picked him up running around, and I have to look at my map and find a
You still just
suitable
carry that whole thing around with you?
location.
How
I
long
do.
have you
I
lived
get
here?
lost sometimes. The city has changed so many times since I've taken residence here. Say Charter Hall.
That far?
Yes.
And you did this why?
Well, the spirit wardens were likely to pick it up if I didn't intervene, and if they had picked the creature up, then likely would have led them back to you. And we are friends. I didn't want you on the wrong end of the hangman's noose.
We're friends now. Alright.
Oh, we know. Did I misjudge the situation?
You just have an interesting demeanor with people you call friends. But you've saved me the trouble, so thank you.
You're welcome. They look like he looks generally perplexed about your comment about having a weird demeanor with people he calls friends. Like he never really considered that, or nobody's ever told him that before.
Probably don't want him to suck all their blood out.
Again, not a vampire.
You do know what you look like, right?
Yes, but not all immortals are vampires.
Right. And not all vampires can come in without an invitation. So what's the catch?
The catch.
Yes, what do you want in return?
Oh. I hadn't really considered that yet. There's something that you may be able to help me with.
Alright.
And again, simply a favor between friends, if it does not come to pass. I'm content in that.
You know
was
I don't
merely
like to
helping a
owe
friend.
people.
Fair enough. Well then, quid pro quo. There's a book I've been looking for. And if you happen to come across it, I'd very much like it.
Alright. What book?
The title is The Bindings of the 12 Demons. No author. It's been in circulation for some time. If you can find a copy of it for me, return it to me, then we'll call it even.
Alright. No authors, not much to go on, but I'll keep an eye out.
I have a feeling that the reason for my difficulty in procuring it might be that somebody has their hands on it.
That would make
And
sense.
given that you work in the business of the occult, same as me, you may find somebody in our line of work that has procured it recently.
Alright. I'll watch for it.
Thank you.
Of course.
Well, I did not mean to interrupt your evening. I will let you get back to your clients.
Yes, if you're not here for a companion visit, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You're losing me a sale.
Well, of course. And no, I don't have time currently, but I'm sure soon. It'd be nice to have you visit again.
You know where to find me.
Good evening, then.
Good night.
And he leaves your room, heading back out through the main common area, past the bar, and walks silently. And I guess you have witnessed this, and you have experienced this, so it's not offsetting to you or off-putting to you. Glass makes absolutely no sound when he moves.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Did I just see a man leave Glass's room that I did not see enter it?
You did
We're
not
about to see Glass staring daggers at you.
You I will say yes, and also you have the strange sensation of not being able to look at him directly.
Don't like that.
Like you see a man leaving, but as soon as he leaves, you realize, and you're a pretty sharp eye, and I imagine Grackle really like picks up on characteristics and likes to read people. You cannot remember a single feature on that man's face.
Huh.
What he was wearing, his height, his weight, anything. You just know somebody left. You don't remember when they came into Glass's room.
Like, I think that, like, Grackle, like, legitimately looks, like, kind of confused and frustrated. And she's gonna, like, eye Glass up, who's glaring at her. And I think that we have, like, a hand signal of, like, you good?
Yes, the answer is yes. I don't know what the signal looks like. I just nod. that means yes. That's a signal that means yes.
Can Fume be like propping up Glass's like clientele, turning his head over? Oh, Glass,
How long has
hello.
it been?
And I will say this too, Fume, you are completely unable to see this man.
Ooh.
I have no object permanence, so
You literally do not see anyone. You see the door open and then Glass come out. You don't see anyone leave.
I had him try my special concoction. I call it Leviathan's blood. It's not actually Leviathan's blood. It's actually brandy, whiskey, rye, tequila, absinthe, no chaser. There's Merlot in there.
And now I'm glaring
I'm
at Fume.
offended. That is a fucking travesty. And if I saw anyone pour all of those things into one glass, I would smack them across the face.
A long
should.
dusk ball iced tea.
I look at Salome and then I point at Fume and I'm just kidding.
You point at Grackle.
You close your fan in Fume's direction.
Yeah.
Glass, without
Grackle
hesitating,
shoots
him. Or Grackle.
Pavlovian response. Shoots
I've
whatever.
just been waiting.
I imagine anytime somebody closes a fan around Grackle, it's like, oh,
Itchy trigger finger. Like,
He can't be that drunk, right?
If
It's been like 5 minutes.
oh, let me make a fortune roll.
Listen, it just means you have to work less tonight.
What did you say you gave him again? What was this unholy abomination?
It is literally an ounce of whiskey, rye, tequila, vodka, and Merlot.
That's disgusting.
All right.
You also said brandy and absinthe.
say
And
brandy
the
and
brandy and
absinthe, the absinthe was the clincher for
No,
me. You
no.
don't put absinthe in anything unless it's supposed to fucking taste like absinthe.
I'm
That's
gonna roll-
not in the drink. Brandy and absinthe are the twins that are sitting at the bar.
I'm gonna roll 2 dice and take the lowest.
Oh, Joe.
Wait,
Please don't kill Joe.
That's a 4. That's a mixed success.
I'll bet.
He is drunk to the point, not that you will lose this business for the night.
Because I would
But that-
actually kill Fume for that.
It's not probably going to be as much business as it would have been otherwise.
Well, he'll just be very excited to talk about all of his work problems. That's fine.
Yeah.
And if you take it slow, you can charge him by the hour because he doesn't know what time it is.
Joe, my apologies.
Joe just. Oh no, it's all good.
Oh,
Can
sorry.
I get another one of those?
Yeah, sure. Here you go, Joe. And just slide the glass across, turning to glass. It's just water, I swear.
Good.
Thank you.
Catch, join me.
Maybe lie down for a sec. That was strong.
Got the perfect spot for you.
You take him back.
Thank you.
Grackle's now doing the rounds angrily, trying to figure out where the breach in her defenses was. Calling birds.
Was it you? Was it you?
Oh, I'm gonna have to tell Salome about this, and I don't want to.
Yeah, well, that was my entanglement for you. So at this point, we can enter downtime, and if y'all want to have these scenes, you can.
So,
Or we can do our downtime activities, and then you can address that during free play.
a man showing up and asking for a book. All told, based on what happened last time, pretty good.
It was a one.
Call
it
that
was
one
the
pretty good.
lowest- This was like the lowest tier of entanglements that y'all can end up with.
Pretty
And
good.
I initially thought about having the ghost attack you, and then I thought this was more fun. Or the vampire attack, the soon-to-be vampire attack
I
you.
like Lord Skurlock.
Oh, Skurlock's my favorite NPC.
He's awesome.
Such a
Is he
great-
actually not a vampire?
He's a vampire.
I realize this is stuff that might come up in story. I just
Lord
love the
Skurlock, parentheses, not a vampire.
Not a vampire.
I just love the
He's
idea of a
definitely
guy
not a
who
vampire.
I will tell you
legitimately
this.
looks like
his-
Dracula and is not.
I will give you the description that all of you would be aware of for Skurlock, because Skurlock is a tier 3 faction on his own.
Yeah,
so
he's
I
from
think
the
most
book.
of you.
On his own.
On
On
his
his own.
He's his own
he-
faction.
He is his own faction.
And he's my
So y'all would
friend.
know who Skurlock is an ancient noble said to be immortal like the Emperor, possibly a vampire obsessed with arcane secrets.
God
Yeah,
bless him.
in the companions you can pick, it's got a little description of him as well.
It
He
might
strikes
just be
me
the
as
same
such
one.
a nerd.
Yeah, no, he's just a nerd that people think is a vampire. It might be a
He's-
vampire, but he does
He's an
not.
immortal wet cat.
Skurlock is an unusual noble, unbelievably ancient, but whose ongoing youth is not explained. He does not sit on the city council, but the 6 noble families who do regard Skurlock with wary interest,
He's-
and cautious trust.
He's not a vampire. He's just goth.
And
Yeah.
there is a rumor that goes around occasionally that the Emperor wants him out of the picture, but I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, his personal scale is tier 3, and complex he counts as a large gang equal to 20
Just
people.
by himself.
I
Oh
wonder.
my god.
He's my friend.
I wonder if it's like a Gray Fox situation where you just put the mantle on, you become Lord Skurlock.
Yeah, it has.
It's just
it has
a
Yeah,
words in
magic
there.
maybe.
Y'all will have to explore his the character some more and find out. Y'all want more NPCs? Here's more NPCs. for
Yeah.
Do
you.
you mean to tell me if I put on your coat, I become Lord Skurlock?
Like the Dread Pirate.
The Dread Pirate Roberts?
Like the Santa
Good
Claus.
night, I'll probably kill you in the morning.
Santa Claus!
No.
Yeah.
That one you have to
It's
put
either
on the
Dread-
coat. If you put on the coat,
It's either
That's
the
it.
Dread Pirate Roberts or Tim Allen's the Santa
Shout
Claus.
out to when Tim Allen murdered Santa.
listen, I don't think there's anything in the lore of Dread Pirate Roberts that says you have to wear his coat.
Sorry, I'm recasting Lord Skurlock as Tim Allen.
And I
Oh,
quit.
God.
That racist? Absolutely not.
I did not know that.
That Tim Allen's a bad person?
I don't pay attention to a lot of movie stars.
Don't pay
No.
attention to him. He fucking sucks
don't pay
ass.
attention.
You got it. I will not.
That's right, Tim. I said it.
All right.
I know you watch this show.
Let's get back to downtime.
Oh god. My brain is so busted.
All right. Who's got an activity they want to do?
I mean,
I've got-
I'm.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm real easy. You already had a downtime. Yeah, you wait around.
Yeah, you wait.
around.
Yeah,
You wait.
fine. I'll eat my sandwich.
I gotta. I gotta stop taking like DM roles. Like I easily like just like jump into the saddle and I'm all like, all right, I'm gonna run this horse. No,
It's the hat.
Yeah.
it really is.
Part.
It gives me a sense of unearned power. Okay, I'm going to I'm real easy. I'm like one more tick of stress until I like overstress. So I'm gonna treat my stress. I'm gonna indulge
Okay.
some vice.
Indulge your vice, and your advice is working, right?
Yes. So I mean, like honestly, whenever this comes up, it's just a matter as to what. Like it's like any number of like 3 things, either working in the jewelry box as security, doing bounty hunting work on my own, or specifically doing work for Salome on
Okay.
the streets.
Well, let's go ahead and do your vice roll. So you'll roll dice equal to your lowest attribute rating.
That is probably the same for everybody right now.
Just
We haven't had
watching
enough.
Grackle. I think you're moving your mouse, and Grackle's just going back and forth with their gun. Like, nobody move.
She's working.
I'm on security detail. Nobody move. I think it's just one, right? Like for my you say like it's insight, prowess, or resolve, right?
Insight, prowess, or resolve. So whichever
Yeah,
one is the
okay.
lowest out of those 3.
So it's 1.
Okay. Roll your 1 die.
That's a 5.
Wow, that's pretty good. How much stress do you have?
I've got a lot. 1 less than going over.
Hopefully more than 5.
Hold on. How much stress can you have? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it's 9.
Yeah, 9. So I'm at 8.
Okay.
Oh shit. Maybe I don't need to do that again. So wouldn't it be fun if I went over?
If you overindulge, you might have to
If I,
disappear.
We're doing free time, baby. I can do whatever I like.
I think you disappear for like a couple
Well,
of weeks.
no, that's not necessarily what happens. That's one of the options.
No, I know. Yeah, I just like that one the best.
You can either
Or I can
attract
cause problems for us.
trouble, and I'll do another entanglement, which will be fun. You brag about your exploits, which gives +2 heat. Or lost, which is where your character disappears, and then tapped is the last one at which your current purveyor cuts you off. Find a new source for your vice.
You know, this is what I learned about this is what I learned last time during downtime. I'm gonna wait and see what everybody else does for their first pip of downtime and then react to that. Because sometimes y'all motherfuckers generate heat.
Yeah.
So, real quick though, with that tapped where your purveyor cuts you off, does that mean that Grackle goes on a sanctioned like vacation?
I think it would be nobody will give you work. You don't get any shifts, so then you have to find a new source for it. Either finding a new vice entirely or finding just somebody else who will employ you.
Honestly, it depends on what I did, because it could very well be Salome going like, Grackle, you go sit in your room for a bit.
Can't work, better do cocaine.
But yeah, we can leave it at that. So what are you at left? If you remove 5, how many stress do you have left?
I've only got 3.
Okay. All right.
That's
so
not
yeah,
bad.
we'll leave it at that for yours. And then we have Salome and Glass who still need to do their downtime.
Mine was also going to be really simple. I was going to do the same.
Okay.
De-stress.
What is Salome's vice?
Luxury.
What does luxury look like for Salome?
That looks like going to the most ridiculous like bathhouse ever. I'm imagining like bathing in something that would seem to make more sense, like, I don't know, actually using or consuming in daily life, but the luxury portion of it is just filling a big bathtub full of it.
Actual
like cow's milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like cow's milk. Like,
So-
no, we could eat this, but no, I'm gonna take a fucking bath in it.
So who's your vice purveyor?
I didn't pick one because
Oh.
I'm trash. I
That's what
honestly
your
don't
approach.
care. Anyone.
Just get Fume to run out to the grocery for you.
Yeah,
I
there you go.
think-
There's a
I
list
think your
of them in the
character sheet
PDF.
will give you options for your.
I mean, double dipping on your vice purveyor by making them a part of your crew feels like cheating. Which I realize I'm
There's-
kind of doing.
No, I mean, like, I'm fine with it because it's still gonna have the same consequences that if something happens to Salome, it is a double-edged sword. Like, yes, Salome is your vice purveyor right now and giving you work. On the other hand, if Salome goes out of commission, you will no longer have your vice purveyor, which wouldn't necessarily happen with an NPC as easily. And then also you can still get cut off. Like, we would role play if we chose the option to have you cut off from that purveyor, we'd role play that of like Salome hitting the point of being like, no, you're not doing this anymore. I'm cutting you off. Like, you got to find something else to do.
I posted the
But-
list from the PDF if that helps.
Oh, perfect.
That
Some
does.
examples.
Yeah, sure.
think-
Singer. That's a bathhouse. Easy. I'll add that now.
What do
Okay.
you think of the name Heavenly Pearl as a bathhouse name?
I
What was that?
I love it.
Heavenly.
like it.
The Heavenly Pearl.
Ooh, I do like that. But yeah, so those are example, and yeah, you can do something different, but I think that works perfectly.
That's
So
perfect.
there's a bathhouse in Crow's Foot that you go to. That is your advice. So, yeah, then let's go ahead and do our roll. The reason why I have to ask these things and where they are, because if you like, there are like Grackle is vices in your vice purveyors in Silkshore. There's a specific mechanic for Silkshore if you overindulge your vice. I don't think Crow's Foot has that, but I will check.
So the lowest that we have in one of the areas, I'm guessing we're not counting the freebie that we got in prowess as a team.
No, you would still. Yeah, that is just in your sheet, so that's still here. So here, I'll pull up your sheet here.
So I have 2 in both insight and in prowess. So
Yeah,
I
so
would
you
roll
get
2
to-
dice.
Yep, you get to roll 2 dice.
All right. Get to is probably not a great
How many
example.
stress do you have?
6.
Oh, well, then you're fine. Even if you rolled a 6, you wouldn't overindulge.
But if I rolled 2 6s, oh no, never mind. We're taking 1. Got it.
Yeah.
Blades in the dark. Woo!
2 5s.
Perfect. So you get to clear 5. Just double checking with Crow's Foot. I don't think that's the mechanic. Crow's Foot doesn't have anything. Aggressive volition here. You may take a devil's bargain for +1 die for violent action, but the ghost will lash out too. Okay. Yeah, the Crow's Foot has a different thing. But yeah, Silk Shore. The mechanic for Silk Shore is should you overindulge your vice in Silk Shore, you get a taste for it. Take +1 die to your next roll, to your roll the next time you indulge your vice here. So if you overindulge in Silk Shore, you have Silk Shore. It's just the Jersey Shore. You in oh god, now I want to make Silk Shore the Jersey Shore. Hold please. I'm gonna rewrite my entire campaign.
Glass, did you ask him about the situation?
Everyone in Silk Shore is so tan now.
I will
Suddenly.
fucking leave right now.
But yeah, so if you overindulge in Silk Shore, you get to roll additional dice going forward in Silk Shore, which can be good, can be bad. Cool. So stress looking better for Salome. Glass, what is your what's your first action?
In a surprising and unexpected turn of events, I would like to indulge my vice.
That's fine. What's your advice?
Pleasure.
And who is your proprietor and where are they?
Mine is because I don't want to play where I work, even though that would be really easy. You can't treat your coworkers like that. Someone named Eldrin Pritchard, who runs the Silver Swan Pleasure Barge in Brightstone.
Ooh.
It sounded really fun.
That does sound fun.
I was gonna go for the brothel, and then I went down and I saw the Silver Swan Pleasure Barge, which just sounds like a real bacchanalian good time.
That does sound.
Because when
fun.
glass parties.
Glass parties.
Yeah.
So
They need to feel something.
Brightstone is most engagement will suffer a -1 die due to heavy blue coat patrols. And generate additional heat on operations. Okay, so does not affect this.
So yeah, this is a barge that goes up and down the Brightstone canals.
I do like
and
that.
That's sea law, baby. International waters, right?
You can do anything on international waters.
All right. So
it's a full like bacchanalia. There's like blood sport and
well, maybe not that. Maybe some blood magic.
You don't know. Maybe in the lower levels.
You mean I don't know? I go there. I do know.
There may be some fucked up shit happening there with some of the nobility.
Honestly, I don't know that Glass would give a shit.
Yeah. But no. So go ahead and do what's your lowest rating?
It's actually in prowess, surprisingly.
Oh.
Which is 2. I take the higher or the lower one.
You have a 2 in prowess?
Yeah.
So you take the higher.
Okay, so 5.
Okay. You get to clear 5.
And I had 6.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, really, the mechanic here, I know we get like really squeamish about overindulging, but given the amount of stress you're generating in missions, it's a positive to usually take the higher one, because you typically won't be indulging your vice when you have less than 6.
I wasn't being squeamish, I just couldn't remember what the rule was.
Yeah. So the only time you roll and take the lower is if you had a 0 in it.
I see.
Yeah.
Leaves me with one little stress.
Alrighty.
Glass is gone for like 2 straight days. Just gone.
Love it. Come back.
Comes back a little salty.
Looking refreshed. Maybe you got some beads in your hair.
Yeah. Went to Margaritaville for a couple of days.
Pour one out for Jimmy.
That last album's coming out next month.
Alrighty. I think everybody's taking one action now, so it's fair game. Fume, you want to go? You want to jump on yours?
RJ, you can speak now.
Yay! That's all.
Once.
I'm happy.
If Wings says it's okay.
Oh.
No, I'm so sorry.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, I don't run this game. Wings runs this game. I'm sitting here the entire time.
She always
has.
Wings
like, is this okay? Can I do this?
So I leveled up in my playbook the other session, and I picked up the special ability analyst. During downtime, I get 2 ticks to distribute among any long-term project clock that involves investigation or learning a new formula or design plan. Could I allocate those to deciphering the book?
Yes, you can. Which I had looked up something with. So here's the funny thing I found in the book recently. There is actually a example in the book of what it takes to craft a hull, and how that should work out. The the way that the book recommends it is it's a 6-stage project. So there are 6 clocks that you have to complete. The first one is the inner chassis. The second one is the clockwork structure, actuators, sensorium, soul vessel, outer shell, and then feature for it. But luckily, we did they're all 6-section clocks, or no, some of them are 5-section clocks. I think there's 1 5 and there's 2 7 sections. But the first one is a 6, so we did that right. But we'll I'm going to just follow that, and the book will be just a part of it. We'll just flavor it differently for the sake of this. So yeah, if you want to, so you want to go ahead and put 2 into the deciphering the book.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'll go ahead and mark 2 sections there. And then I'm gonna delete the one that's the build whole prototype, since we have a better
Understanding of how to build one.
understanding of what it should be. So let's do I guess you want to do a roll for your long-term project, or
No, I was just gonna allocate the pips there because I need this time to heal
yeah
so badly.
you do. That's totally fair. So let's do that. So you want to do more healing, or you want to do stress relief?
I was thinking of doing healing this time and then spending a coin to do stress
Yeah.
relief.
Oh yeah, because that's another thing. Y'all can all spend coin to do a third downtime activity if you want. That is fine by me. So getting back to the recovery, get treatment to take your healing clock like a long-term project. Oops, all right. So I think, did we have you roll Tinker last time? Is that what we did?
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, let's go ahead and do another Tinker. Are you doing this with Melvir still, or are you kind of doing this on your own time?
If Melvir helped me with the groundwork, then I can take care of the rest in my lab.
Yeah. I mean, most of the reason you went to Melvir is for the cover of going to a doctor.
Ah, yes, I'm at a doctor now. This is all good.
And now it makes sense that I get better. Yeah, I was just debating whether we give you an additional die for the help, but if you have gone and consulted, so I'll give you another die for Melvir.
Position?
So I don't know if it. I think it's just risky standard. I don't think it really. Matters.
All right. Here we go. Hey, 6.
That's 6. Nice. So you already had your clock, right?
Yep, I had 3 ticks on it.
Sweet. So with the 6, you get to mark 3 more segments.
Cool. And that means my broken leg goes down to the 2 slot.
Yes.
And my second goes away.
Yes.
That means I'm just taking a -1 to every roll. Here we go.
And they do roll over. So if you have, did that fill it up, or did that your the clock, did that bring you, like, would it have looped around again?
It filled me up once, and now I have 3 sections again.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you can keep up with that then. So that gives you a heads up if you wanted to do another heal action. Alrighty. Well, we'll leave that for Fume right now, and then get back if you want to spend a coin to do another. Who's got another downtime?
I imagine people walk by Fume's room and they just hear the sound of a blowtorch going. Salome and Grackle know that.
What kind of blowtorch was that?
That was a drill. I moved. I yes-anded, and I continued.
If I recall correctly, Fume has a corner room that has no windows in it.
Yeah, that is true.
None of this is out of the ordinary at all.
As long as it's not during business hours.
There's just like the light flashing under the door.
No drills during business hours unless people pay extra for them.
No.
Lovely. All right, who's got another downtime?
I know what
My
I'm
drill
gonna
will
do.
pierce the heavens. Okay.
So
I'm
Glass and
so-
either one of you.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorely tempted to try and clear the rest of my stress. Like
Hey, roll.
50-50 are
Well, there's
are
bones.
certainly odds. You know
Yeah.
what? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna wait until everybody else finishes their downtime activities and see if there's anything I can do that's better with my time,
Okay.
aside from potentially causing us problems.
Glass. You said you had one.
Yeah, I gotta start looking for this book.
Okay. A lot of books in this game. I'm realizing.
Books are fun.
Books are fun.
I found a copy of Dracula and a copy of Moby Dick in Starfield last night.
Debating whether
Books
this
are fun.
is.
Reading is fun, dead mental.
I think this would be acquiring an asset, or would this be a
That's-
long? Or is it a long-term project?
Because it does say, because if you acquire asset, it is one special item,
Yeah.
which typically I think they mean, or a set of common items, which I think they typically mean like equipment.
Yeah.
But a book is an item, if you really think about it.
Yes. Yes, it is. That is true. Then yeah, we can do acquire an asset.
Okay. I'm
Um,
going to tell Salome that I'm doing this. At least because I think she'd probably want to know that Skurlock actually showed up here.
When?
When is it now? Last night?
It's whenever.
I didn't see him.
Well, by the look on the faces of Fume and Grackle, no one did. I don't know how he got in, but it wasn't through the front door.
We need to get those wards up as soon as possible. Once we fix the bathrooms. Damn. Wish I could have walked him through the front hall.
I don't get the impression it would have made much of a difference.
He's one of your best clients. Keep him happy.
Right, about that, made a rather strange request,
Stranger than usual.
but it was for a book. So yes,
I'm assuming not to read to him.
that I did not ask. I was just... I'm curious if you've heard of it. It's called The Bindings of 12 Demons.
Assuming I have not.
Probably not. What is your study?
Only a 1.
Roll it for me. Let's see. Let's do this as a fortune roll.
4.
Mixed success. You've heard a lot. I mean, there are a lot of books out there on demonology and demons and devils and the like. I don't think this particular title rings a bell, but you may know of people who trade in this sort of thing. So I'd say you might not know this book. You may have an idea of where to point Glass if Glass isn't sure where to go.
I could ask around, but I haven't heard of it.
Well, if anything comes to mind, I suppose let me know. I'm going to put in the effort. He may have done us a bit of a favor.
What kind of favor?
The, just my eyes grackle over in the corner somewhere. The bartender. Is no longer an issue.
Make it a priority. Keep him happy.
Of course.
Let me know if you need anything.
There's a bit of a stain on my rug.
I meant in regard to the book.
Right.
Fume, clean up in Glass's room.
From the bar, there is the audible sound of instruments being put down. From around the corner, holding a metal bucket in one hand and holding like a pair of crutches in the other, with a bandana over the mouth, is just Fume hobbling over to Glass's room. The bucket has like a squeegee and
I hear club soda works wonders.
yes, but if I club the soda, then it would be beaten and flat. Get it? It's funny.
Did you get shot in the head?
Lord, I wish I did. Hobble, hobble, hobble.
I suppose I'll be at the university.
I had a question. Did Lord Skurlock leave that head here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is.
Oh my
There's a head on the
god!
rug.
It's on the upholstery too.
Did you? Well, you had your client in there after. Did you literally leave the head?
It's
sitting?
in the closet. No, I put it in a drawer. It's in my bottom desk drawer.
I'm sorry. I just imagine the head is sitting on like a boudoir, and then Glass just turns it to face the wall.
Once the client left, took it out of the drawer so Fume could find it to clean up.
Oh.
I'm not a monster.
Hello there, Fume.
Oh.
You hide, and I don't know what to say.
I have so many doubts every day about so many things.
What are you doing with that cleaning slip? No!
Going into the salon. If anything happens, I don't want to know.
I'll bring back some Charter Hall wine. All right. I'm gonna go try to look for this dang book.
Okay. So you were thinking about going to Charter Hall?
Is that where the university is, right?
That is, there are two universities. One is in Charter Hall. I think the other's in Brightstone.
I think the Charter Hall one is the one I went to look for the mushroom book.
Yes, that specifically was located there.
So if we're looking for, I guess I'll start there.
Yeah,
Unless there's a better place for me to be.
well, potentially. Here's what I'll tell you. This is kind of in line with the devil's bargain. This is a devil's bargain. I'll offer you a devil's bargain.
Okay.
Um,
Is it one of the devils in the book?
no. You could go to the university and look for it. There's a chance it could be there.
I think I was more hoping like records about it, but
Yeah, records about it. It could give you a lead. I mean, you could find a lead on the book to
Sure.
acquire it. There are two things I want to set up on this one. So you're going to be rolling to acquire an asset, which means you roll equal to your crew's tier. Your all's tier is still 0. So you roll 2 dice and take the lower.
Okay.
If you roll you get a tier level based on the roll. Tier -1 for 1 to 3, equal to your tier of 4, 6. 6 is tier +1. Critical is tier +2, but you can't crit on a 0 roll.
on 0.
The thing that I will tell you is this asset is going to be a tier 2 asset. So you will very likely end up having to spend coin on it with your current tier. The option that I will give you, the bargain here, is you could go to the to academia and look that way. there are also specialists in the city that factions within the city that specialize in the occult. Going to one of them may have a better lead. Specifically, you would know one of some of the foremost experts on the occult are the Dimmer sisters.
Okay.
If you go to them, I'll give you an additional die
In exchange for what?
in exchange for going to them.
Great. I love it. I'll do it. I was gonna
Okay.
think about it more, but Danae made a face that I liked very much. It felt like encouragement.
Uh,
No, I wasn't. You know I wasn't. Of course I'm going.
so
I need to reevaluate my faces.
Alrighty, I'm trying to remember where they're located.
Dimmer sisters. I just had the list up
Yeah.
of like the important.
Where are going through which notable persons are in each location, if it gives them somewhere.
I don't see them. The ghost lady is in Silkshore.
Yeah, I don't think they're in Silkshore though. I just need to make sure. Again, it doesn't really matter, but I want to know
It's not. I mean, when you have a map, it's nice to be able to like drop a pin.
Mhm.
exactly, and that's why like it would be better if I could.
You didn't make
confirm
them
it
up, did you?
now.
Are they real?
Huh?
They're definitely
Are they-
real.
They're
Are they
definitely
real?
They're definitely real. Location.
They sure do like using the Dimmer sisters as examples.
They do. Because it just says fine old manor house and grounds HQ. It doesn't give.
Oh, where would an old manor house be?
Hmm. Could be in Six Towers. Is probably.
Housebound recluses and occult reputation. This is their faction description.
Yeah. So it doesn't give like an exact location. So I think I can just pop it wherever.
A fine old manor house and grounds, as well as the ancient temple ruin and subterranean canal beneath, apothecaries and witches in their surface. I probably shouldn't read too far. It's on page 288.
Yeah. I don't think it really.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Yeah. And their yeah. I'm going to put them in Six Towers then.
I mean, it's a fine old manor house, so that kind of
Yeah.
gives you an idea.
And Six Towers is the formerly prestigious district that's fallen, that's faded over centuries into a pale shadow of what it once was. all but 2 location, some of the first noble families. It's got a high occult influence trait. Has an empty, haunted feel with many sprawling old buildings. That, I think, is going to fit the bill for us. So let's say 6 towers.
I mean, at this point, I'm just like imagining Lady Dimitrescu's like daughters.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the vibe they give. Yeah, and I'll give a little bit of a rundown for the Dimmer sisters. Nobody quite knows how many of them there are.
There's rumors
They
that they
don't-
bathe in blood.
Yes. Only a couple of them actually deal with contacts outside the house whose names are known, but most of them, nobody knows their names. Just a bunch of women living in a house saying they're sisters and
Doing witchy stuff.
Doing witch stuff.
And they were sisters.
And they were
And
sisters.
they were sisters.
Okay. You want to go talk to the Dimmer sisters?
Yeah.
All right. I want to do your roll first, and then we can kind of RP it a bit. Because if you just completely botch this roll, then maybe they just don't see you at all.
Okay.
But I'll give you an extra die for it. So I think that'll bring you to 1 die that you're rolling.
Yeah.
Unless you want to push yourself to get another. Or if somebody wants to assist you.
Well, I can't push myself and accept a double spark. Which is what this is.
Right.
I can help.
Right. So somebody would have to assist you.
I'll help.
Okay. So
You're going to assist Glass and going to the Dimmer sisters?
Of course I am.
Okay.
We'll deal with that later.
That means I have 2.
Okay, so roll your 2 dice, and let's hope for a high roll.
Whew. It's a 5.
5. Okay. It's pretty
The other one was a
good.
1.
So it's a mixed success, which means I think it is equal to your tier. I just lost literally everything. There we go. Downtime activities. Acquiring an asset. 5 to 6. Asset equal to your tier. So you'd have to spend coin to get it up to the 2 that you need. Because right now you're at a 0.
Okay. How much coin is it?
1 coin per. It bumps the result up by 1 for each coin you spend.
I'll help. I'll give you a coin.
You don't have to do that.
I pushed them to do it to keep a client happy. I'm more than happy to put in for the money.
Okay. 1 each?
Alrighty.
1 each.
All right. So both of you spend 1 coin. Oh wait, hold on.
Saving me again.
You can spend coin to raise the result of the roll beyond a critical. Okay. By spending 2 coin. Oh, that would be okay. Never mind. So you can. That would only be. But if you're increasing the result, so 1 coin makes it a full success. Another coin makes it a critical success, which equals tier plus 2. If you wanted to raise it beyond that, it would be 2 additional coin for each for level. But
I'm only gonna have 1 left.
A tier 2 gets you what you need.
Excellent.
So,
Go ask Salome for money.
and I guess tell Salome that you're going to see the
Yes,
Dimmer sisters.
yeah. Dude, I will fill her in.
Does Grackle know?
It's up to you. Are you hiding it for Grackle?
I mean, I'm not
Yes.
gonna tell you to your face.
Let's keep this private for now.
I do.
Don't want folks knowing we're necessarily mixed up with the Dimmers.
Of course.
Do let them know, however, that we appreciate their services.
I'll say it came from you directly.
Thank you.
Thank you. If I don't come back, I guess send someone looking for me. Or don't.
Try to be back in the next few hours.
I'll be back before sundown.
We don't want Grackle doing anything drastic.
Shooting another bartender. Fume better watch his step. I'll be back before sundown. Away I go.
So you cross town, heading over to the Dimmer Sisters Manor. I mean, everybody knows what this manor is, because there are whispers of it, especially if you are engaged in the occult. Is this the first time Glass has ever consorted with the Dimmer Sisters?
Probably. I don't think they were important enough to ever before. Or kind of
The
nobody.
Glass wasn't important enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they were. Yeah, they were nobody for a good long while, so probably not. Probably not on the radar.
So, you know a couple. I mean, you know the rumors about the Dimmer Sisters. You know kind of what to expect, and as you approach their manor, heading all the way across Dustfall, taking a arriving in Six Towers, there is you have to take a gondola to actually approach the estate. There's no like the entire manor actually has its own barrier around it, its own lightning barrier, and the only way to really approach the house is via gondola. And the I would say some of the extra coin you're spending to get there is that most gondoliers will not take people to the Dimmer Sisters Manor. You have to find a gondolier willing to take extra payment to take you there.
I pay the pleasure barge guy extra.
Yeah,
Go straight there.
To sail all the way from Brightstone down to Six Towers. You see the crackling of the barrier. This, you would actually see the massive lightning barrier on the eastern side of Duskwall that separates the city from the Deathlands, like sparking and glowing in the distance. But the smaller barrier is around the home, and you definitely can see like the home has power, though all of the curtains are so dense, or so like thick and drawn, that you don't see any light coming from inside. It's like this dark, looks like an abandoned home here in Six Towers, which is not uncommon for Six Towers. Most of the homes here, these estates, are abandoned or converted into apartment living for those unfortunate enough to have to live here. But the Dimmer Sisters house is an exception. As you approach, you do feel, given your attunement to the supernatural, to spiritual energy, you can feel that this lightning, this barrier around the home, it's probably why some people are so uncomfortable coming near it, isn't so much to keep spirits out as it is to keep the spirits that are here in. Because you can see like crackling along some of the lines, moving around like the exterior of the home, you can see spirits almost patrolling the grounds, like they have been forced into servitude by the proprietors of the house for their own defense. There are the main gates that lead to the home, and like a locked gate at just off of the canal. You step onto the path, telling the gondolier to wait for you. There's a small like walkway that leads up to a locked iron gate, and the path continues along rows of like dead hedges and decayed ground, crumbling marble statues up to a main doorway. However, the gate stands between you and there, but there's a bell on the gate that you could ring.
The bell.
You do. Cha-ching, 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 rings out quietly, but piercing through the gloom and the fog rolling in, and you wait and wait until you see the front door to the home open. And stepping out is a single woman wearing a long black sort of Victorian gown, sleeves going down to forearms, then gloves covering the rest. You don't see any exposed skin, just all sort of black lace covering her entire body, including a kind of a wide brimmed hat with a veil, a black veil, like sort of like a mourner's veil or a widow's veil that as she quietly, with her arms crossed in front of her, approaches the where you are standing. And she speaks in a calm and low tone towards you and says, "How might I help you?"
I seek an audience with Dimmer Sisters. I am looking for something. I believe you can help.
Well, I'm Roslyn, one of the sisters.
Pleasure. Milady? I'm Glass.
That's... And to what end do you seek an audience with us?
Well, I'm looking for a book. And I believe the contents of the book might be within your purview.
We have many books here. Do you have a specific one in mind?
Yes. It's called Bindings of the 12 Demons.
She thinks on that for a moment. I believe we may have a copy. You know, such things do not come for free.
Yes, I know.
And what are you willing to pay?
Well, sort of looks back at the manor house and the sort of like dress that she's wearing. I get the impression that coin is not an option. Or rather not
Coin
the
is
most
not.
interesting.
Coin is an option, though a mundane one. As long as you have the sufficient amount to reimburse us for the loss of this book.
And your price.
She looks over you for a second and says, I believe you carry enough on your person to be sufficient.
Good. Though offering up a soul or a memory or something is interesting, but if I can get away with coin today, I'll take it.
As the price of this book, the coin should be enough. Though, if you wish to bargain with something else, we could reduce the cost.
I suppose I don't rightly know what you'd be most interested in. imagine you have many more things more interesting than me. Sorry that.
She sort of like her head's been tilted down a little bit, and she looks up slightly towards you. And you almost see for a second like a flash of like silver or something where her eyes are, and almost like the slight. Maybe it's just a trick of the light, but a slight glow behind her veil. Which you again can't really make out any features of her face. Other than that, she seems comely, like she appears to be young, attractive, but it's hard to make out underneath the veil. And she says, "The value of the payment would largely depend on the payer. I cannot ascertain the value of something for which I do not know you are willing to offer."
Huh? I'm paid very respectably for my services as a companion.
I'm sure you are. I am in no need of companionship currently.
I don't know that there's much more I'm willing to give, so settle for the coin.
Very well. She sort of dips her head again. She says, "Would you like to come inside?"
I would like that very much.
Before you say that, and again, this is Glass's decision. You may do that. It is very common knowledge that nobody who goes into the Dimmer Sisters' house ever comes out.
Oh no, they're gonna bathe in my blood. I go in the house so bad.
But that is your call.
Am I gonna die?
Maybe. It's always possible.
Or they have a back entrance where they let people out. Take a chance.
I'm going in the house. I didn't make this character to be a coward.
So you continue that response.
Like
and
that very much.
The Dimmer sister, Rosalind.
The autosave pops up in the corner. Oh shit.
Acknowledges your response, and she moves to the gate to unlock it and open it for you. The gondolier behind you is seeing this and says, Lord, it is. You sure? Do I need to still wait here
You can
for
go.
you? Right, I really don't want to, so I'm gonna just push off now. And it's already like moving the gondola
Yep, you can
away. And you head inside. All right.
I
who else
told
has
you
downtime
from the
actions?
beginning, Glass has almost no self-preservation instinct.
Who else has downtime actions?
It's fine,
Or
don't worry
ignores
about
it.
I do. I have a downtime action still. Does anybody wait, hold on. I wanted to go last. Does anybody else have downtime actions?
This is my
that they want?
downtime because I don't
still
think I'll
have
be getting
one.
back up.
Yeah, that's a series wrap on Glass. Thanks for joining us, fam.
Next week I'll be introducing their brother,
Glask.
Blast.
I'll be introducing the brother Sand.
Window.
Older brother.
Window. His name is
Hey.
Bay Window. And
Wait, savvy though. They could be really edgy, and you can name them Pain, but not Pain, Pane.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass. Damn, that's good.
together they have a band called Stained.
They're really edgy. They have another edgy sibling named Broken.
We're all super edgy.
I love it. Okay. So did Fume or Salome have another action? I don't think Salome has taken your second yet, right?
I have not, no.
Okay.
Okay. Getting our heat down would require someone to go to prison, so that might actually be a job to.
Well, we
That's
don't
our
actually
wanted
have
level now.
heat right now.
Yeah.
No,
Just
we've
at
got the wanted
level.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll get your wanted
So
level
someone
down.
has to go to prison.
Yes.
You might want to wait until we acquire some turf because that'll make the prison roll easier, right?
No, you
Oh,
acquire
no, I'm-
turf in the
I
prison.
said there's no way Salome's going to prison.
Yeah.
No, that was not in
Uh,
any way the suggestion. We're gonna
What
have to.
makes
We're gonna do
your-
a job to pin this on someone so they go down.
Yeah,
that's our
whole thing.
absolutely.
What makes your
But that won't
wanted
be
level-
downtime.
So I'll tell y'all this. There are a couple ways to reduce your wanted level. There's not like a roll for it. If somebody comes to arrest you, you can either put the like if it comes to the point where one of the entanglements you get is that somebody's going to be arrested, you can either pin it on somebody else. One of you can go to prison, or you can pay off the guards to clear.
You know we're
your
gonna pin it
wanted
on
level.
somebody else.
And that is fair. But it's not necessarily something that you. I mean, you can go ahead and preemptively do that. But I'll say, like, if it gets to the point where your wanted level actually becomes a problem, you can do things in response to that instead of like,
Cool.
oh no, we waited too long. Now one of us has to go to prison.
Cool. What about? Is it possible to turn a bad clock back?
Yeah, you could do that as a project. Which one were you looking at?
Either blue coat suspicion or bad reputation.
Yeah, the ones that you have, which I would consider negative clocks towards y'all, bad reputation, blue coat suspicion, accosted by spirit wardens.
Yeah, Salome can't really help with that one.
Yeah, those are the ones that are most directly impacted.
Bad reputation's looking bad too. We're about halfway there. I mean, I don't give a damn about my bad reputation, but
Hey.
yeah, maybe we'll work on that.
Okay. So what I would do for this then is we'd essentially just reverse the mechanic of the long-term project. But instead of adding to a clock, you are, well, or would I just create a competing clock? And if you fill it, actually, I think that's probably more so like in the spirit of the game is you would create a project that would be in contradiction to the project or to the clock that is ongoing. And if you succeed
racing clocks,
more of a racing clock situation than a like reversing a clock.
Okay.
So you want to go with bad reputation or
Yeah.
Okay. So what is Salome doing? What is your project here?
Ugh. Why do you have to ask me questions that I have to know the answer to? How
dare
I?
Are you trying to name the clock, or are you trying to figure out how you're going to combat it?
Yes.
It's more so how we're going to combat it right now, and then we'll come up with a name based on what the method here is.
So yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe we're jazzing things up a bit. Maybe we're looking for companions with a wider variety of talents and menu options, if you will. Zhuzhing the place up a little bit. Maybe have a little block party. Just something to liven us up to the neighborhood a little.
Okay. So more like a marketing campaign.
Sure.
It kind of is what is okay.
Why not?
Yeah, I think we can get behind that. I will say we will just make that a another 4-segment clock. I'm not going to make it more difficult than the clock that is currently ongoing. So the question then is, I mean, it sounds like consort, but if you have something else in mind you were looking for.
Consort sounds about right.
Okay. Then let's do that. There's the possibility you could just go ahead and, I mean, if you crit on this, you could just completely finish this clock. We don't even have to put it on the board.
Cool.
So why don't we do that? Why don't we roll first? So Salome is like, what, you're putting out like a like a half price apps night at the jewelry box.
No, I think she's a little stingier than that. No, I think just a little bit of a marketing campaign. Friends of friends within the contractors that come in and utilize the space.
Okay.
Have some
Hire a
fire
sand.
dancers and shit. Who knows?
Yeah, hire a sign spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just Grackle in a different hat.
Yeah,
Grackle's
exactly.
got like a sandwich board on.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a bunch of Grackles flying in front of the door, holding up a sign between them.
Yeah. You train them to spin the sign.
That
bunch of
is
other-
a 6.
Okay. But not a crit.
Not a critical, but a 6.
So here are your options.
2 and a 6.
So a 6 would mark 3 segments. You'd only have 1 segment left. If you spent a coin to increase the result to a critical, then you would mark 5 segments, so the clock would be completely finished. Or you leave it at
This
that.
seems appropriate for a business owner. Absolutely. I'll spend my last coin to up my business.
Then you are successful in that. Let's see. Then I'm not even gonna put the thing on the board. We just do it. Let's see.
Bye bye bad reputation.
Bye bye bad reputation.
Dang.
We did give it
We should be doing that more often.
and now it's gone. Perfect. So yeah, over the course of this downtime, you put on a big old show with the jewelry box. Salome, you putting your own, like that represents you like putting your own coin into this, maybe actually like incentivizing some more of your contractors to coming in to have more companions, more courtesans working there. Being a little less stingy with like the liquor and everything else that's offered there, having some additional like just more excitement around it to build up that reputation, especially after y'all had the had the misfortune in our first session that kind of started this whole thing. And with that, everyone, I think any worries about the state of the jewelry box and the misgivings they had about patronizing this establishment are gone. They're currently dealt with. Excellent job. Awesome. So that clock is off the board. And that was Salome's second action. You don't have any coins, so I don't think you can do a third one anyway. So I think all we're left now will resolve glasses, but Fume and Grackle, y'all, either one of you, or no, Grackle, you hadn't done your second one. You were waiting.
Yep.
Okay. You want to
Should I? I mean, I got a question. Should I wait before or after glasses is done?
Glass isn't gonna have any. Well. Maybe we wait. Again, this is free play, so I shouldn't hit you too hard, but I guess let's see what class does when they get inside. Fume, did you want to spend a coin to do a third
Stress
one?
relief, yeah.
All
I've
right.
got 7.
Jeez. Yes, you definitely need to.
I've been thinking about it, and I do know what Grackle did to indulge her vice this time around. And it was checking to see if the bartender had a family, and then making sure that they were taken care of.
Painful. So much.
I
Like
hurt myself today.
Sorry, there's like an earthquake happening in Sid's office, and I got really worried.
There's a cat that hid out in here.
Oh.
I was saying
sneaky
be
bastard.
right back because I was going to shoo him out of here, and then he jumped off and almost knocked my entire setup over. One moment.
Oh my god.
See if
He's in trouble.
Uh-oh. He's in trouble. Something's coming up and it sounds like double. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna roll for stress relief.
All right, then let's go ahead and do that. So spend your coin. And what is your vice?
My vice is stupor.
Right.
And I have my sensory deprivation casket hidden away under my bed.
Okay. Yeah. God, I'm waiting
Open
the
up
day
the
you
casket, and he's got cucumbers on his eyes.
You overindulge on the casket. So again,
And he wakes up
Never gets
somewhere
out.
else.
So your
Oh.
purveyor is your purveyor. I guess your purveyor is technically also Salome then, because this is taking place on her residence.
I think it'd either be Salome or
is it
Traven, who's the smoke shop dealer.
Oh, right, because
Yeah.
you use the dream smoke. Gotcha, perfect. And that is in Silkshore. So, or is your
That's Coleridge.
Coleridge? Okay, all right.
So he has
cool.
to go buy it and then head back.
So you go back. Okay, that makes sense. So your purveyor isn't necessarily again. You like it's not where you're doing it; it's who you're getting it from.
Mhm.
Perfect. So let's go ahead and what's your lowest attribute?
The criminal.
There's the criminal.
There's the
Someone would like to apologize. Do you want to say you're sorry? Do you want to tell the internet you're sorry? No?
And I'll do
Yeah, I
it
didn't
again
think
too. Sad little fool.
And I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you metal
He'll never get rid of
kids.
me, mother. My lowest is resolve with 1 pip.
Okay, so roll your 1 die.
2.
2. Okay.
I'm still pretty stressed, I guess.
So you're at 5.
Yeah.
You can actually, how would that work for Vice? So I was gonna say you could spend coin to increase.
Roll again, and I run the risk of disappearing into the night.
It's a low risk, but it is also you, so it's pretty much guaranteed you'll roll a 6.
Yeah, I would just see because normally like spending the coin is like a guaranteed like increase, like you're guaranteed to increase the thing. So if we did another die, it's possible it could be worse or the same.
I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say no to another dice and the potential to disappear for a while.
Yeah, I was just looking to see if the game had anything on spending coin. It's 1 and 3 result becomes a 4 or 5. So, I mean, this says a 1 to 3 result becomes a 4 or a 5. 4 to 5 result becomes a 6. 6 becomes a critical. So I guess we would just, if you spent the coin, we could bump that up to a 4.
Which would put me in a very good place to start spending stress again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. We're gonna make money.
Let's do it that way then. Oh, I also forgot y'all can spend rep instead of coin to do additional activities too.
Which would be good because we don't have enough coin to go to our next tier anyway.
Yeah. So that is something else, like because I know like if Fume wanted to save one of his coin, or if Salome wanted to be able to do a second action even though she doesn't have any coin now, you could spend a rep instead. So that is an option.
I'll just spend the coin for now.
Okay. Then let's continue. So we're about at break time. Do I finish up a glass first? Finish up a glass first.
Do we get a vote?
What's your vote?
Let's take a break now.
Okay, let's take a break now then. All right, let's go and take our break, and then we'll finish up downtime. I only have a couple more things to do, and then we get into free play where y'all can go ahead and start figuring out what you want your next job to be. So let us adjourn for our break. Thank you everyone out there for watching. We'll be back very shortly to finish up our session. In the meantime, do what we're doing. Go drink some water, stretch your legs, get a snack, whatever you might need to do. Discipline your cats, like most of us have to do. We will but we'll be back here in a few minutes to continue, so stay tuned. There's some weird stuff we need to talk about going on in the studio. We don't need to talk about, but I at least want to address going on in the studio here today. Some weird energy, but we're gonna power through and keep going. So where we left off, finishing up downtime. I think we got to get back to glass. I can't put this off any longer. Glass. You are escorted by Rosalind to the front doors of the manor. And
Are you saying Rosalind?
yes,
Okay.
it's Rosalind.
Rosalind.
Like Rosalind.
Okay.
Roslyn.
Lyn. Okay. It's just
Yeah.
that when spooky stuff happens, you start talking extremely quietly.
It's for the ambient effect
I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly.
to the manor.
Because I'm afraid if I go in there and call her the wrong name, she's going to suck my soul out of my body.
That's fair. Yeah, you follow Rosalind into the in through the manor front facade, and step into a dimly lit foyer. There is a I would liken it to the vibes of like a grandmother's house. Like it feels comfortable in a sense. Like there's a lot of decoration. It's not like sparsely decorated by any means. There's a lot of like old wooden furniture, very thick rugs
Antique-y.
underfoot. Yeah, like a very antique vibe in here. But there are some mirrors along the walls that are very badly tarnished and dirty, enough that you can't see your reflection in them. There are some portraits. Actually, there are lots of pictures on those walls in this front foyer of all sorts of different people, like portraits, like frames of different sizes. Again, very much like grandmother's house, like pictures of the entire family up on it, where it's like mismatched photo frames, everything just like stuck to the wall. I don't know if this is just a singular experience I had with my own grandmother, that this is how she decorated her walls.
It's not what my grandma's house looked like.
Okay, so
But my grandma is from Central Alabama.
Mine was Texas. So yeah, she had one specific wall that had pictures of literally everyone in the goddamn universe, and like just crammed onto it with different frames. So that's kind of the image I want in your mind's eye there. There is from this foyer, there is a staircase on one side of the room that leads up to the second level, and there are 3 offshoot passages, one beneath the balcony that the stairway leads up to, a straight ahead you further in the house, and then 2 more to the right and left. The doors are currently closed there. As she steps in, she stops, the door closes behind her, and you hear, well, you don't really hear footsteps, but you catch the movement of somebody moving on the upper balcony as another woman in all black, veil, different dress, like not identically dressed, but very much like the same fashion sense. Aesthetic, yeah. Steps along the balcony, and she speaks out in a more like kind of a rasping tone. She says, "Is this our guest, Rosalind?" And she says, "Yes, my lady. This one was requesting an audience with the Dimmer sisters." And the woman on the balcony says, "Very well. Do they have sufficient payment for what it is they're seeking?" Rosalind nods, says, "Of course. Verified it myself." And the woman kind of steps down the stairs slowly towards you and says, "Very well. I'll tend to our guest myself. You may return to your duties." And Rosalind gives a nod and says, "Of course, my lady. Anything for the sisters." And she bids herself excuse herself from you and heads off straight down the passage ahead.
Thank you for your hospitality.
It is my duty as a servant of the Dimmer sisters. And she continues in. Very flat affect, like no really like response to your sincere
Sincere might be pushing it.
to your offered thanks. This woman comes down the stairs and she says, "We do not do business with the outside ourselves. Rosin is invaluable for that. But any pretense aside, I am who you're here to speak with."
Well, glad to know I'm in the right place.
"You're looking for a book?"
Yes.
"The Bindings of 12 Demons."
Yes.
"You may leave your coin on the vanity there and follow me." There's a silver bowl there, and you take the pouch of coin that you were prepared to pay, set it in the bowl, seemingly for whoever to come pick up later, and she heads to the towards the door to the left, and pushes it open, leading you inside. Glass, you again, with your attunement to the spiritual sort of spectral energies, you continue to sense that presence even more potent here as you are inside the house. You gather just from I'd say without needing to roll or just based on innate attunement, you can sense there are many spirits in this house, none of which feel hostile. Obviously you're not attacked in any way, but there's this looming sense of danger, like a misstep and this place would almost would devour you, essentially. The home itself feels dangerous, but you are safe right now as far as you can tell, and following this Dimmer sister forward. She leads you through the room to the left here, and what you are walking through currently is almost like a museum. I would compare it to like Ed and Lorraine's basement, like the Conjuring series, with like shelves of just random little pieces, like no really like arrangement or organization, just some things behind cases, some things just loosely stacked on shelves, nothing really labeled or
Filling it up
organized or
as they
anything like
go.
that. Yeah, and it just looks like, and nothing, no dust or anything covered. There isn't a speck of dust in this place. No cobwebs, anything. As haphazardly put together as everything looks, and as much as it looks like a big piles of junk all over the place, everything here seems meticulously tended to. The only signs of any sort of degradation or degrading to the place is the signs of age from the items, some of which may have been sitting here for a long time, or at least were old when they arrived. But no really rhyme, reason, purpose to anything here. You follow her through this room, and she leads you through several connecting rooms, some of which were probably like a music hall and sitting areas and things that have all been repurposed for the collection and storing of these items, whatever they might be. She doesn't say anything as you walk, so I guess my question to you is Glass staying quiet in following, or do you engage in any conversation with her?
I think isn't gonna push it, because is pretty good at knowing when people want to talk and when they don't. It's part of my job. But through like the second or third room, I think like realizing like the scope of like what's down here is like, this is a truly impressive collection of artifacts.
She doesn't turn or acknowledge you in any way other than speaking, but she does speak and respond and says, "We have collected these over many years. It is the pride and the burden of our home."
I can't imagine being around all of these for long periods of time is pleasant.
I suppose that is a matter of opinion. Some may find it pleasant, some may not. And again, she doesn't turn to face you or anything. She says, "How does it strike you?"
Strikes me as fascinating. Many strange things do.
You are a whisper, are you not?
I've been called that in my time.
You speak to the spirits. They speak back.
I do more than speak.
Then you are a whisper.
I suppose I am.
How did you come upon your gifts?
I died.
Not uncommon.
But, fortunately for my clients, came back soon after.
Less common.
I don't plan on doing it again anytime soon. I don't think Through taps the stone. The old ticker. Go take another one.
If you plan on meeting death, yet it is inevitable. For most.
I'm working on that.
Why do you seek the book?
I owe a friend a favor. And they're looking for it, so I told them I'd do my best. My best led me to you.
She leads you through, again, a couple more rooms until finally you pass, like crossing a hallway. And it's not really, you're not really sure why she led you through all these rooms rather than taking you the hallway. Like the layout of the house is a bit confusing based on where you're walking, because suddenly you're crossing this hall. You can see it extends down, probably intersects with maybe where Rosalind went previously, but she didn't take you that way. She took you through all these other rooms. Again, strange, but many
Weirder
in
things
this
have
house are.
happened to me this week. Like,
That's fair. But
yeah.
she crosses this hallway to another room, and she says, "Here we are, a library." She leads you through this into this room, and you see a large collection of books. Again, not many of which are on the shelves, but it seems that over time the collection grew to a point where the shelves could no longer contain them, and many are just piled on the floor, on tables, mountains of books all over the place.
Wow. How many of these have you read?
She pauses for a moment, and she says, "The sisters have read all of them. We do not keep anything in our home we do not understand."
It's a fine philosophy.
Indeed. The same goes for people as well. We do not invite people into our home unless we understand who they are, what they seek.
I don't imagine I'm that complicated to figure out.
More complicated than most, less complicated than some.
I'll mark that down as a compliment.
She doesn't respond to that and moves across the room to a to a pile of books, and it's at this point you begin to hear. It was difficult to pick up at first with her talking, and also just the nature of the sound dampening effect of all the pages and stuff in here. But you hear some conversation that is clearly going on in this room around some shelves and piles of books. You hear another kind of raspy feminine voice, and under responding to it, you can't pick out the words. You hear kind of a gruffer voice as well. And as it grows louder, it stops as they clearly hear you approaching. And you come around the corner to see, or like the edge of the shelves, to see another one of the Dimmer sisters. Again, same aesthetic, but clearly a different person. Speaking or sitting at in like an armchair with a table between her and a gentleman wearing a like a light gray, almost like off-white suit, bowler hat with a thick gray mustache and very tan skin, and
Damn elegant.
not far off, as she says, "My apologies. I had assumed your business here would be done, sister." And the other Dimmer sister looks up and says, "Our business is concluding. The Baron here was about to leave." And the gentleman who you have now been given the name of kind of sits up, puts his hat back on, and says, "Didn't realize you had another audience. I appreciate your guidance on this matter. I'll leave you to it." And he again dons his hat again. He makes eye contact with you, Glass. Though he doesn't say anything, I'm going to do a fortune roll here. Uh, let's see. I'm gonna give you 2 dice here. That's a 5.
My work here is
He-
done. You didn't do anything.
He locks eyes with you, and you see his like eyebrow kind of twitches a little bit, like he's trying to put a name with to a face. And like, is this somebody?
Unreadable.
Is this somebody I should know? Is pretty much like the read that you're getting on him right now. And but that passes, and he says, I don't believe I've made your acquaintance.
My apologies, I suppose. You don't look familiar to me either. Nice suit, though.
You can call me the Baron.
Well, the Baron. Pleasure.
This is typically the part where you give me your name.
You may call me Glass.
One of the Dimmer sisters steps for the one that was escorting you and says, our client's privacy is our foremost priority in these cases. We don't typically allow our clients to converse on our grounds. If you have business, you may attend to it elsewhere. And you see the Baron gives a wry smile and says, I apologize. I overstepped. I simply thought that as a fellow friend of the sisters here, we may have something in common.
Perhaps. Though I do not wish to insult our hosts, so perhaps we'll carry on this conversation later.
Perhaps we will. He gives a like a polite nod of his head in your direction, and looks to the woman that he was speaking with and says, "Sister," and then he excuses himself from the room. And the woman that the sister that was escorting you says, "I apologize for that. The Baron is one of our most loyal clients, and he can get a bit carried away with himself."
Well, most men that dress like that do.
But I believe we have what you're looking for here. And she reaches over to a stack of books and plucks a book off of it, and then extends it to you. And she says, "The Binding of 12 Demons." Very few copies of that still in circulation, so
So I've discovered.
do be careful with it. I don't know if we could find you a replacement.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I care for books more than I do most people.
If that is all that you require.
May I ask you a question? You're under no obligation to answer.
Very well, you may ask.
Have you always served the Dimmer Sisters?
The woman you're speaking to smiles and she says, "I am a Dimmer sister." And yes,
I must have confused what you said with something Rosalind said. You all sound very similar. And what of them? The people that serve you.
they do so For the same reason any in the city do anything, to serve their own interests.
I see. Thank you. Really.
Should you need anything else, you're welcome to conduct further business with us, so long as you have payment sufficient for our services.
Perhaps I'll bring you something more interesting next time.
Please do. Our connection is never finished.
I like it here. It's quiet.
On occasion. She says, as she gestures towards the door, a different door than you came in. She says, please, follow me. And she leads you back out in a completely different path than you came in. But you still wind up back at the foyer that you initially entered. And from...
Wait, the security system.
and again, using no hallways. You pass over, you cross a few hallways, but you never travel down them until you just a series of interconnecting rooms, and maybe some runes until you reach the front entrance again, to which Rosalind is standing there once more. And opens the door for you and escorts you back to the gate.
Before I leave the actual Dimmer sister,
Yes.
I want to say thank you again.
Your thanks is appreciated, but not required. This was business.
Yes, but you're not just doing business with me. I'm also doing business with my patron, Salome of the Jewelry Box. Would appreciate this very much.
Well, seeing as Lord Skurlock is not allowed within our grounds, it makes sense that he would send one such as you.
Do I strike you as his type?
Very much so.
I'll
He's
let him
always
know.
had a fondness for strange and broken things.
I've also been called both of those things in my time. I'll let him know you said so. He may take it as a compliment.
He may. It is in his nature to do so.
Men in fancy dress.
You almost catch the slight bit of a smile from behind her veil as she excuses herself, leaving you in Rosalind's care.
I did what I said I would do for Salome. Didn't forget. I just wanted to wait till I had the book.
And Rosalind escorts you back to the gates, which she closes and locks behind you. And you
If
have to
any
wait
of your sisters are ever looking for the services of a companion, like I said, you know where to find me.
She gives a curt smile towards you, or maybe she does. It's hard to tell under the veil. And she says, "I will keep that in mind."
Thank you, milady. I'll get out of your hair.
Do come back. And she turns and heads back to the home, leaving you on this little dock here until you can flag down a gondolier who is brave enough to come this close to pick you up.
I'll walk a little bit. Down a few blocks.
Yeah. But there you go.
I didn't
you got
die.
that, and you got some more information. God, I was hoping I'd scare you off of going inside, but probably worked out better for you. But you
Me?
Yeah.
Me.
But you got to meet the Baron.
Me.
Um.
Scared
Uh-huh.
of going on a mission into a creepy house full of ghosts and
That's
haunted
scary, man.
artifacts with a bunch of awesome Victorian ladies in business for
And
themselves
just so I'm clear, because
for
I
a
think I got it-
vampire.
I got a bit confusing with the description, just so it's clear. Rosalind is not a Dimmer sister. She just purports herself as one. She's a servant to them.
Okay.
She just conducts her business, and she does so essentially under the guise that she is a Dimmer sister, so that she commands the same respect as the rest
She
of
works
them.
for them.
Yeah, but the other Dimmer sisters and the one that you're speaking with, they don't have names. They don't give names. They just refer to themselves as sisters, and they are the owners of the house. You saw a few, but you never saw the same one twice, other than the one that you were.
Hard to say. They're all kind of dressed the same.
Yeah.
They have to wear like the black like Victorian mourning garb, but they all have their own little flair.
I mean, essentially they do, like different hats.
Rosalind has a Funko Pop on her desk.
Yeah, I mean, essentially they dress the same. Some have hats, some just wear the veils, some like like they all dress
Long
a little
gloves, short
differently.
gloves.
Yeah.
Chokers, longer necklaces.
They're all allowed one piece of flair.
One piece of flair.
Except for casual Fridays.
How very corporate of them. In which they still have to wear the Victorian dresses, but they can wear jeans underneath them.
Yeah.
It has pockets.
Oh boy. Okay.
I'm looking through this book immediately, by the way.
Sure.
On the boat ride back.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and do a. So it sounds like you're trying to study.
I would love to study.
Go ahead and study.
Love study.
This is a the one that's not risky or
Standard.
no.
Desperate.
It's not desperate. It's the
Controlled.
This is controlled.
This is
Limited.
This is a book.
Yeah, it's controlled with limited effect.
Good, because I rolled 2 1s. I can't read.
This book is in a language that you can't read.
That was my secret the whole time. It's like,
You're not sure if it's encoded. Like, you don't even recognize this language. It's either encoded or it is a dead language you are not familiar with. Because you would recognize like Skovlan and like Aruvian.
I'm from
and,
Tycheros. So.
Yeah, you would recognize all of those languages. This is not one that you recognize.
I just think to myself that maybe I'll wear that one pair of boots that Skurlock really likes, and maybe it'll tell me what the book's about.
Fair. All right. Well, that was exciting. Did anybody else have any downtime stuff that we didn't get to?
I think I'm gonna train.
Okay. That is why. Okay. So, yeah, that's why I wanted to wait for downtime.
I'm sorry, I feel like I've been taking up a lot of time today.
No, it's fair. I wanted to be sure in case anything changed with what.
Something
Grackle
could have
wanted
happened.
to.
I could have rolled those ones way earlier.
Well, and having the information, even though it hasn't been given an RP, is I don't know if at any point Glass is going to say anything or Salome is going to say anything about who they met and who these letters are from or anything. We're keeping.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
But
How much information is descended amongst the group?
I feel like I have to tell them about seeing the Baron there. It feels like a crime not to. After we found those letters and
I'll
stuff.
ask this because a lot of this, and I know this game has a very meta element. There's a lot of things that we as players know that the characters don't know, and obviously as players that we know that there's some kind of connection there.
I mean, it's largely more significant for me to know in the meta than for Grackle to know in like real. I mean, like there is a lot of information being kept from Grackle, and
but also I don't know would Glass have any reason to keep this information from Grackle.
Salome told you to be discreet.
Yeah, Salome too.
Okay.
Too. And my sort of whole standard of living relies on her. So I'll tell Salome. And kind of gauge, like, is this something like we as a crew should be concerned about or interested in?
Interested? Most certainly. I'll ask you to hold on to this information for now.
Of course. You're the boss.
May I see it?
The book?
The book.
Sure. See if you can figure out what language it's written in. It's none I speak.
Hmm.
I half expected it to be Taikarosi, but that'd be too easy.
Salome looks at the book.
All right. You want to do a study?
Yes. And then I have a question.
Sure.
It's a 5.
Okay.
So much better than a 1.
Better than a 1.
It's almost the opposite.
My question, which I don't know if this will inform the 5, does this in any way remind me of my book?
Yes. I would say with a mixed success. And because I gave this limited effect. You're definitely not able to decipher any of this book, but you learn 2 things. It's both some sort of dead language and a cipher. And the good news is with your...
No wonder I couldn't read that shit.
Yeah. The good news of this, like, as you're looking at it, you're like, some of this is actually like script in some sort of dead language, which you recognize as being similar to your book. The rest of it does not, and that's kind of how you're able to tell some of these is elements of like a cipher that was created to protect its contents. But as the name of the book would suggest, it seems to deal with demons.
It'd be really wild if it was just like a cookbook or something.
Yeah, this one is called The Binding of 12 Demons, and it's a cookbook. The one that
binding is actually about binding certain elements in baking,
I use egg to bind the dough together.
It's a mistranslation. It's actually supposed to read emulsification.
Yes.
Got it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yes, that answered your question.
Anything?
Okay. It's encoded.
That explains a bit.
May I ask you a favor?
Of course.
Don't push it with the Lord, but see if he'll tell you what language it's in, aside from the cipher.
Of course, yeah. Easy enough. I'm not on a strict time limit, so if you want to keep it for the night, I can take it to him tomorrow.
If you don't mind.
Not at all, as long as I get it back.
Of course.
I only paid for half of it, but it's quite an expensive book.
Absolutely.
And quite an expensive client, so... But yes, by all means, I'll take it to him tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right.
Salome excuses herself for the remainder of the night to just, double check, do some comparisons up in her room with the door locked and double bolted.
I made this character to, like, summon ghosts And I keep just end up going and finding books for people.
Yeah,
This is the
that's-
second time in 4
That is true.
episodes that I've become a librarian.
Weird that it's all cookbooks, isn't it?
It's some cookbooks. I didn't know there were this many. I sit
We're
in
actually
my
just playing the Great British Bake Off, and just nobody knew.
I sit in my room and play Cooking Simulator for a while.
Hmm.
Like the epilogue, it's like, and Glass became a librarian.
Glass became a librarian. Turns out
And
that's
Glass
going
spent a
along.
week speedrunning Cooking Mama.
I go into my room, I download Chef Life,
Hmm.
I start making a character. And I give him a mustache that looks like the Baron. That's what I do for the rest of the evening.
What I'll say here, because again, it is not just to be upfront with kind of how I'm gonna do the mechanics here. You acquired this as an asset, which means you get it for short term. So I'm gonna say you don't have to return to Skurlock until after your next job. So you can keep it until then. But once that job is completed, that's when we'll, like, in the next downtime is when we'll play out giving it back to Skurlock. So
That'll work.
you've got time with it.
No, as long as I get it back at some point, Glass fully trusts Salome to do what she's gonna do and give it back, so. Who's rolling? What are you rolling? What are you rolling?
I'm doing faction downtime just while I had a second.
I got so nervous.
Faction Downtime got a critical success. What that mean?
Success. What happens? Do we go up a tier? Does the
The
guy,
hive eats us.
the hive decides they want to be
Yay.
friends? We don't even
Uh,
have to frame somebody for our next crime. They just believe us.
No, what I'll summarize for faction downtime here, red sashes, specifically leading into your last job, they reduce the hold of the hive. So hive goes from strong to weak, but they don't go down a tier yet. And then heretic investigations from the church increase by 3, so they're at 6 out of 12.
Talk is
And then-
frightening to me because I have no idea what it means.
Yep. And then council hearings from the city council got a crit success, and that went up by 5.
Ooh.
Is that good?
Do we know what that means?
You do. I mean, yeah. But as much context as happened in the first session is what I will give you. You know, the council are in the process of hearings for the future of whole use and spirit and heartstone transplants, augmentation, like that sort of stuff is currently in discussion by the council. A lot of arguments going on in the council chambers for whether or not Dustfall is going to essentially accept a proposal to allow that if this clock reaches full, it means the council will have succeeded in their arguments to pass that legislation. The heretic investigation is essentially the counter clock going on by the church to undermine that, convinced that members of the council are engaged in occult and forbidden or taboo practices that specifically centered on this process. They're looking for information that would undermine the council and this decision. The church is directly opposed to that. They think that the spirit, that the Heartstones are an abomination, and
Is
they
the Baron a part of the council?
The Baron. We'll check. I'm trying to remember if I put the Baron on the council or not. The council. The Baron does not sit on the council, but the council is allied with the Foundation.
Got it. All right. All right. Follow-up question. Do we have the upgrade that gives us like extra stuff for training?
Good question.
Yes.
All right. So it's 2 XP.
It's for a specific one. I'm trying to remember which one we took. I will look. For prowess, we get 2 XP instead of 1 when we train.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you train, you can either help me understand. There's a little bit of crunch here.
Yes.
When you train, you add to your playbook XP, or you add to one of your.
You can do either one. So you can train to either gain a playbook experience, or you can train for attributes. So in the case of your crew upgrade, if you decide to train in prowess, you would get to mark 2 XP instead of 1 for your training action.
Okay.
But
So
if
you would have to specifically train in prowess in order to get the 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you train in just your playbook experience, then you'll just get 1 XP.
This wouldn't be a bad idea to train in. Though I think like story-wise, I think she'd specifically be training her gun shooting.
So are you going with prowess though?
Or
are you going with playbook? Or are you going with the other one that
let's go with prowess.
Insight is the one that Hunt is under, I think.
That makes sense. So I mean, you're training a little more of like your physical dexterity and stuff. So like maybe it's not increasing your hunt, but it is increasing your ability to like your stealth and your
maybe in future she's thinking like I'm not gonna kill anybody unless I can look them in the eye first.
Perfect. Is that it for everyone as far as downtime? Nobody else had any rep or coin they wanted to spend to do another action? Okay. Then we go into free play, and the world is your oyster.
So I pull out a gun.
This would be a great time to maybe share information in character if you want to do that. But you also do probably want to have a meeting with the Red Sashes at some point if you want to move that arrangement any forward. But you kind of have to decide. I guess you'll probably want to decide what your goal there is anyway.
Do we have like a weekly all hands for the jewelry box where Salome kind of goes over what's going to go on during the week?
You have your team huddle once a week.
I really don't want to think about work until Monday.
Yeah,
Me neither.
Can we call it something fun?
Family dinner.
Like it's like a seance. Family dinner is nice though.
I like family dinner.
We can have a family dinner once a week.
That's in the contract for signing on to the jewelry box. You gotta come to family dinner at least once a week.
I mean, we're constantly like speaking in code and stuff like that. I love the idea that like an emergency family meeting is called a seance.
I'm calling a seance.
All hands for a seance.
It gets really confusing when you actually do a seance. It's like everyone shows up and you're like, no.
That's a meeting.
Okay, you called seances meetings. You call emergency meetings seances.
Yeah.
You call meetings family dinners.
Does it get on Grackle's nerves? Yes. Does Glass know that? Yes. Do they care? Yes. It's hysterical to them.
Gotta keep Grackle on her toes.
Yes, like in Fast and Furious Sunday barbecue.
All right, so there's a bucket of Corona.
I get the Corona out
behind the jewelry box. You got the grill going.
Better hide the baby oil. Better hide that bald ass head.
More convoluted than a rattlesnake.
That was an improv.
Yep.
And the laughter afterwards is genuine.
I fucking love that shit. You guys haven't watched the latest one. It's pretty. It's good. It's good. Pete Davidson
Anyway,
is in it.
so family dinner.
Family dinner.
Dinner.
So, Glass, not to ask you any questions, but
It sounds
what do
like
you
you're
want-
about to ask me a question.
well, yes. What do you want me to do with the head?
I don't know. Get rid of it. I'm not keeping
It's
it.
still here.
In a glass jar of formaldehyde on my desk.
Why am I not surprised in any manner?
What head are you talking about?
I mean, I don't care. You can have it if you want it. You know,
Ooh, can I really? Thank
yeah,
you.
can have it. I don't need it.
Sweet souvenir.
Oh, Grackle. Yes, about that.
You aren't talking about a head of lettuce now, are you?
Would you feel better if we were?
Honestly, if we were, I'd be astounded. You know, the pricing for actual vegetation at this point.
Probably more
would-
expensive than the actual head.
I would never stick vegetation inside formaldehyde. That's just a recipe for disaster.
It's disgusting.
Is
It's
this gonna be a
just-
problem for us?
No, it's actually the solving of a problem for us.
You just gonna leave it at that?
Well, do you want to know more? Because you're sort of just staring at the table looking irritated.
If I don't need to know more, I don't need to know more.
Suffice it to say, there was a loose end after our last job, and now there is no longer one.
Loose ends are usually in my jurisdiction.
Yes, well, I was going to bring it to you, but a friend of ours took it upon himself to solve the problem in exchange for a favor, so... The favor's nothing untoward, he's just looking for a book.
Ooh, what kind of book?
None of your business.
Weren't you already looking for a book?
Well, I
we
found that
found
book.
that. Yeah.
So you're looking for another book?
Well, it was. Found it. So again, no problems.
Since when did books become our business?
I like books.
Books
I
are
bet you
filled
do
with.
too.
Has it at least got pictures?
Not
this
exactly.
one, no. But, I mean, if you're looking for one, I could get you one. Apparently, I'm the librarian now.
Nah, I got plenty.
You can read?
I smack
Literally
Fume.
slaps him.
Ah!
All three of
Both
us.
sides. Just smack, smack, smack.
I thought we were bantering.
We were. You're just being mean.
What the fuck?
Of course, Grackle can read. She's a competent woman. You don't get a hat like that without being competent.
Need I remind you of her wallet full of library cards?
Oh my god, I forgot about that. I'm so glad you reminded me.
Extensive reader.
I forgot that Grackle was keeping all the libraries open.
Like, what was it? Instead of like clipping an ear or a finger to prove she's
taking
killed
their
the bounty.
Taking everyone's,
She's
taking
taking
everyone's
their-
library cards.
Their library card and making sure those accounts stay open so the libraries get more funding. I forgot we talked about that.
Could you fucking imagine though?
God.
It's like,
Grackle is the secret patron of all public libraries in like the Tri-City area.
Yes, need you remind us. You do. I'm never gonna forget that again.
I completely forgot about that.
Oh, God.
there's going to be
We'll
a
never
situation that's going to come up where Grackle needs to give someone a new identity and just hands them a library card.
Mhm.
This is you
This is
now.
you now. Have you forgotten that Grackle is single-handedly keeping most of the libraries in this town open?
Oh yes, I do remember that peculiarity.
Literacy is important.
Do you mean that public service?
I don't think holding library cards could be considered a public service.
Keeping libraries open to the public and funded
Yes.
is a public service.
Keeping libraries funded, but the act of taking said library card away from the individual,
The ends justify the means.
well, you said it, not me.
You have a
They aren't
human
using
head in
it
a
anymore.
jar, so...
For research purposes.
Yeah, and some people would consider that strange.
It's practical.
So are library cards.
Uh,
And they don't bleed all over my carpet.
You're welcome, by the way. It took me an hour to get out the stains.
Good.
D-
It's good
Don't
for
use
you.
hot water next time.
I did use
Grackle.
hot.
Grackle definitely has the library card of the guy that she killed when she got Fume.
Bartender.
Well, not the bartender. No, when she went in the lab where she found Fume.
Oh, okay. You have a library card.
She has that guy's library card.
Which is named.
You need to send that to me.
Do I?
Yeah, we're gonna. I have the name.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, Grackle's serving the city more than you are right now.
Fine. I applaud Grackle for their public civic works, public services, etc., etc. You are single-handedly keeping this town afloat with your propensity for dispensing knowledge.
See, that wasn't so hard.
Y'all, we're getting more distracted than a colony of prairie dogs looking for a hawk.
A what?
What up? What?
Don't
We're
worry about them.
distracted, is what
They're
she's
basically
saying.
extinct.
Sorry.
We haven't gotten one of those in so long. I'm so happy.
I've been trying to, but I've been saying them too quiet.
Well,
Love it.
Grackle, what would you like to talk about?
Who's to say I'm supposed to talk? That's not my job.
Well, no, but you clearly want us to be talking about something.
I didn't call it. Salome, it's your turn. Go.
That's
Do you
That's
need
out of
another
character.
Corona?
Fucking.
You just use Salome like a Pokemon. Like,
I choose
Salome, I choose you. Yeah, no, Grackle would never lead these things. What are you talking
Crimes.
about?
Grackle said we were getting distracted, so I just assumed that she knew
Grackle
from
just-
what.
Yeah, no, Grackle just turns to Salome.
We probably do need to settle things with the red sashes. Fairly high on the agenda.
Sure.
The two of you have some exploits you've been working on. Looking at Glass and Fume. Are those just side projects, or...?
As far as young Will is
Yes.
concerned, I'd like to have that done sooner rather than later, but it takes time.
It's a very complicated process indeed.
My only other project is a delivery of a certain book, but it's not on a timeline.
Of course. Well, let's start with the obvious business, and perhaps we'll look into something more fun afterwards.
What do you have in mind?
Well, seems business is doing a little better. So, perhaps we can spend our time looking at more interesting matters. I do have my heart set on potentially opening another branch of the jewelry box.
Second
think-
location.
Logistically, we are in a good position to open up a secondary establishment.
We would need the space, however.
And the manpower. Unless you can be in two places at once, which I wouldn't put past you.
I'm working on it, believe me.
Me too.
But if you need help... Oh.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. In the meantime,
Some passive income would allow us to turn our attention to more important matters.
I'm just saying the first ever brothel run by a ghost.
Sounds like a great way to get the spirit shroud snipping off your ass.
I think it sounds fun.
They'd need to pay extra for that. High five.
High fives. And you're back on the good list.
Grackle, would you mind setting up the meet with the red sashes? I believe Malera was particularly interested in meeting you.
Grackle just kind of like gives you a if this was a comedy, like when she turns her head, there'd be the sound of like stone grinding on stone.
The glasses flash.
Swing.
Oh, just a small update on my current predicament. If we are to run any jobs, I would like to not be as heavily involved in the footwork. It's very hard for me to walk currently.
Because your foot doesn't work.
It's my leg, yes, but you know.
I
Oh, no, suddenly
believe-
we're not doing puns.
You want to borrow my scope? You can go on Overwatch.
Oh, me with a firearm? Oh, that's a great idea.
I said
Why
my
don't
scope,
we-
not my rifle.
Why don't we resign you to man in the chair status, as it were, until you are fully recovered?
Don't bench me for too long, Salome. I might just get comfortable.
Hmm.
You would never. Speaking of which, what are we working on? We're wrapping up a lot of ends. Where are we going?
Up. At least that's the goal.
I think we should plan something fun for the group this next batch. We were certainly made out in when we did our last job, so maybe we can dump the blame on someone.
A little subterfuge never hurt anybody. Well,
Oh, I definitely had someone in mind. Do we all want to say the name at the same time?
no, by all means. You're the boss.
1, 2, 3.
Cobb?
Cobb?
Yeah, it's Cobb.
Glad we're in agreement.
About time his number came up.
So,
What are we going to do to him,
Liv.
though? I really don't like him.
he's a terrible person. So, it's understandable.
We tried to frighten him with the spectre of his dead mother or something.
Well, he does run the gambling hall, and we could always use more dosh.
My thought is this. If he's going to be going away for a while, say for a massive explosion the other night, he really might not have the capital to be continuing that business, would he? Might need to sell it to the highest bidder.
Given his current predicament, that price could be much lower than it would have been otherwise.
Especially if we make his life a living hell in the meantime.
I actually had a thought about that. As far as the ghost showing up in the square situation, I've got some extra charms and things lying around. It'd be a real shame if they, I don't know, made it into his bottom desk drawer.
Truly a shame indeed.
Maybe one of those implements were to fail while in his bottom desk drawer and attract more spirits to his establishment.
And then I could frighten him with the spectre of his dead mother.
His mother might not be dead. We'd have to check the grave first.
That would be even more frightening.
Oh God.
A terrible way to find out, for certain.
Horrible, truly. What did this man do to us again?
He fucked over Will. Or no,
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah, he fucked over one of our
Right.
paychecks.
Right.
He fired Will.
Right, he fired
Yeah.
Will. Well, it turns out we like Will.
Turns
So,
out
fuck
we've
you.
latched onto this NPC.
I
so
love
far.
him.
We take care of our own.
He's just trying his best. I don't want him to die out there Leviathan hunting.
He's got a kid.
I want him to just hang out with his
Oh, no,
little sister.
he's not the
that
one
was a
with the
different
kid.
guy.
That was
Yeah.
a different
No.
guy. No,
He's the one with the
No,
sister.
Will's the one
He's
with
the
the
one
dead
with the
sister.
yes.
Yeah.
His
Sorry.
sister was young though.
Was young.
We can't,
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
can't tell
hold
them
on, yeah.
apart, but we
Sorry.
certainly
Will
take care of
isn't-
them.
Will isn't the one that got fired. Will's the Leviathan hunter.
Right.
Yes.
The dead
There's
sister.
another one.
With the dead
The one
sister.
that got fired was
Evan. His name's Evan.
Evan.
Who has a daughter.
Evan.
Who has a young daughter.
They're two very sad men
Two-
with
just
young
two
women
sad
in their
men.
lives.
Just two sad boys.
We should
with
get
young
them
women in
together.
their lives.
Oh my god, we should
get
introduce them.
together. We should introduce them.
Matchmaking.
Wait,
together.
new
So
plan.
they can
Scrap
be
everything
sad
else.
together?
New plan.
Hold on.
Match make 'em,
So
match
they
make
can
'em,
be
make me a match.
No.
Find
So
me
they
a
can be
find.
sad together?
So they
That's
can
a terrible
heal
idea.
together.
Yes.
Or just be sad. I'm gonna do a fortune roll for whether or not they're just sad together or are they healed together.
Okay, I do a seance to try to look into the future to see if they would be a good match.
Do you get like one of those paper diamonds?
I
out
mean,
and
I
stuff?
call a
Three,
meeting.
they're gonna be sad together.
Okay, maybe they're
Oh.
too sad.
Support group.
Okay, we'll wait until after we finish the hull and we make Cobb's life a living hell, and then they'll have things they can be happy about together.
Y'all, I think if we were equipped to fix people, we wouldn't be stealing stuff.
I mean, we're perfectly equipped to fix other people.
Oh my god.
What happened?
I did another fortune roll of 2 dice. And got
They're gonna be really sad together.
Maybe, you
Okay,
know,
okay. We should revisit this at another time.
they're on very different ends of the political spectrum.
Oh no, it turns out these guys are doomed by the narrative.
Oh, shit. Not again. Put the crystal ball away. Well, it was a fun idea.
Once we figure out how to get them undoomed by the narrative, the wedding's back on.
All right.
All right, just to get us like on track, just
Sorry.
since we're
On
we're
track?
discussing stuff.
We're all talking about
you can't
completely
you're fine.
straight there on the rails.
There's so just to be clear. So obviously y'all are setting up this idea to get some more turf. Like that's what it seems like a job to.
Yep,
to-
and
to-
fuck up Cop's life.
We're going
so-
after turf though specifically. Is that?
That's what it sounds
the idea,
like.
okay.
Is y'all want
That's the
more
idea.
turf.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Which is totally groovy. I'm fine with that. The thing with the red sashes, though, if so, you set up this whole thing to get an in with them to
Yes.
to set this. If you're not planning on capitalizing on this in right now, then I'm just gonna set that aside for current. Like it's really this whole thing with the red sashes that you've got this in, you're not getting any payment, so there's really no reason to set up a meeting or doing like that. Seems to me,
Unless we want something specific from
unless
them.
you want something specific. If there's something you want specifically from this meeting with them, then we could do that during free play, or if it looks like it's more of a job, then we can do it as a job, and we can wait until later to do that. It doesn't have to be something you do right now. But
I mean, at the very least, I think we should confirm it was us. So, like, not necessarily, like, do a meeting, but just send
Just
them
a
like-
message.
Oh, they
Hey,
know,
we
yeah.
did it.
they
Okay.
I can say like you've like Zephyr reached out, confirmed y'all are good. We can say in the
Cool.
background like you have this good working relationship with them now. They'll get some like I don't remember, did y'all want to be making dream dust for them, or did you want to be selling dream dust for them? I don't
I
think
think
we
it
really
was-
I think
Selling.
we scrapped that, and I think we scrapped that idea and just wanted the in.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more that like you did this for them, you're on good terms, they've got your back, you've got like did I increase your standing with them?
Like, the
I hope
making,
so.
selling, distributing idea was, like, plan A of getting in with them.
Yeah,
But we did another
But,
one.
like, yeah, we went another one.
Yeah, y'all are status 2 with them now.
Also, do we want to try to leverage that into,
helping us get some turf.
yeah, helping us, like, maybe
You
buy up
potentially-
this gambling den or finding a place that maybe they know is legit, like maybe they could get us a good price or like put some capital in that with the understanding that like
Well, the gambling den belongs to the ink rakes.
we'll sell their shit.
They did, yeah. The gambling does with the ink race, so that's not necessarily really the Red Sash's business. Like they don't really have a thing with the ink rakes
Where
right
is
now.
their
They're mostly
turf?
focused on the hive. The ink rakes,
No, the red sashes.
the Red Sashes. It's mostly in Crowsfoot. Their strongest hold is in Crowsfoot.
Okay, so maybe they could help us get
Yeah,
a good price on a location there, right? That we could then
Yeah,
open, knowing that like
so-
they have some capital invested in that, and maybe we give them a little spicy cut of the profits of the new brothel that's opening in Crowsfoot.
So just because I don't think I may have mentioned this last time, I don't remember. So with the Red Sashes, you are now at 2 stat. You're at a +2 with them, which means this faction will help you if it doesn't create serious problems for them. They expect you to do the same. That is where y'all are at. You all have this positive. Y'all are friendly with them. You have a good relationship with the Red Sashes. You're not allies yet, but you are on good level.
We could
The
become
hive
business
is
partners.
now hostile towards you, which is 1 step above being at war with you. So it's a -2. Faction will look for opportunities to hurt you as long as it doesn't create serious problems for them, and they expect you to do the same and will take precautions against you. So the hive is now like they have your number and they're ready for you. If you like, you can't just walk up to the hive now and do a grift. Like they're gonna see you coming. But it doesn't sound like you're planning on doing anything against the hive right now. You're more focusing on the ink rake's turf and taking some turf in Silkshore. Which, if you want help from the Red Sashes with that, as long as it doesn't fuck them over, they'd be willing to lend you some help.
Yeah, so I think we have 2 options. Is like, do we want to go after Cobb, try to buy that gambling hole out from under him, and turn it in our favor, get the Red Sashes help with that, or do we want to try to expand a little bit and say, hey, we know you guys are really strong in this area, like, let us run a business out of there that is profit
Mechanically
for us and
speaking,
you.
mechanically speaking, is it easier or harder or null to try to be picking up turf where we're already at? Since we're already in Silkshore.
That's encouraged. You want to get turf in your own area. Like that is going to be easier for you than trying to get turf in some, like the Red Sashes. They like you. They're not going to give turf to you in Crowsfoot like willingly. That's going to be infringing on their territory.
Yeah, that's something
there.
you have to fight
But
for.
they'd be much more willing to help you secure some territory in Silkshore because you are friendly with them. And if you
the more we own of Silkshore, the more they're friendly with.
Yeah, then they don't have to worry about that side of things as much.
That sounds like the plan then. Plus 2 birds with 1 stone fucking over Cobb. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We don't have to necessarily do a meeting with the Red Sashes as far as like in the wake of your last job.
But my Lyra wanted to meet the big lady.
Yeah, no, we can still do a meeting. Like if you're planning on asking for their help as setup, no, 100%. Like if my Lyra, if you're gonna go to them and ask for their help in this job, we would do that as a setup action, and that would help with like your engagement role and stuff on this. And potentially, if that all goes really well, maybe you get a couple of Red Sashes that are helping you on the job, depending on what you're trying to do. But we could do a meeting there, and not necessarily. I just wanted to make sure that I was setting expectations. So like, there's not really a payment thing. Like, I'm not going to do a meeting with them just so you can be like, they can pat you on the back, say good job, and then you leave. Like that's
the payment is this next meeting that we are now allowed to set up.
Yeah, but we can hand wave and say like, somebody came by, Zephyr, somebody else came by, confirmed that the job was done, was a little like, are y'all okay? It seemed like it got a bit dicey. Luckily y'all lucked out and nobody in any of the buildings died. Just 1 person on the street got shot. Huh, how'd that happen?
What?
That's so crazy.
Somebody got shot? We didn't do
Whoa.
that. That's wild.
Wow,
Um,
weird.
Wow.
So yeah. Okay, so it sounds like y'all have like the beginnings of where your next job is gonna go, but I don't want to leave free play yet unless there is anything else you want to do. Specifically, my main interest is this information. You all have had a couple of gotten a lot of information about the Foundation and the Baron's involvement at this point. And I know that's being kept from Grackle, but it's whether you want to share that with Grackle or if y'all want to talk about that amongst yourselves.
I will just say, Glass has no reason to think that Grackle needs or wants this information.
Okay.
So is just deferring to Salome.
And
On that.
Salome's just keeping it a secret for now.
Glass likes Grackle. They just don't know that much
Don't-
about each other.
Yeah, don't
Grackle?
don't think of this as like nobody's pressuring you for information. Like
Yeah,
it's
this
juicy as hell to like not.
Yeah, I
dissent
don't want to say
information.
I don't want to say there's a right or wrong answer here. I want to know so that if there are more developments, I'm ready.
Yeah,
for that.
I am deferring.
Salome is adding this information to her red string board and is finding it more of a liability at this point to disclose this information to Grackle
It's so true though.
due
it's not-
to her itchy trigger finger.
You're so right, bestie.
So this is
true.
not a she will never find out this information. This is a let's let the heat die down and then we can talk shop situation.
Sure. That works. And did Glass tell Salome that they met the Baron?
Yes.
Gotcha.
They couldn't keep that to themselves and be like, you'll never guess who was there.
Well, especially since you just read this information about the Baron specifically working with the Red Sashes to go against the Hive.
Yes, and now the Baron
and
has
then-
seen Glass's face
and
and
is-
knows that they're aligned on one particular issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's a
Salome
patron of the
definitely heard about that.
Bruce's.
Like, basically, as soon as Glass got back, was like, guess? You'll never guess.
So definitely taking that information as well, because I don't know if Salome would have ever seen or met the Baron. Just knows a lot of information about their reputation.
Because, you know, he looks like that actor. The one's always wearing the big hat.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Looks exactly
Um.
like him. Off-white suit and everything.
Not surprising.
They might be the same person.
I mean, having never seen either of them in person, having also never seen either of them in the same room, quite possible.
You've got to take some time out of some you time out of the bathhouse and go to the theater.
All right.
We'll go together. It'll be wonderful. I'll get
All
tickets. My
All right.
treat.
Fine.
You'll love it. The latest one, Tombstone. It's incredible. Sam
That
Elliott?
would be up
I
your
don't
alley.
remember.
I don't
It's just the first one I thought of. Who was in
Hold on.
Tombstone?
I don't know.
I
I know
think
Val Kilmer was in Tombstone.
Sam Elliott is in Tombstone. Yeah, he's
Oh
Virgil
yeah,
Earp.
okay, yeah. Kurt Russell, Bill Paxton, and Sam Elliott. I did it.
There you go. You did it.
I'm correct. I've seen westerns.
And Val Kilmer. Yep. Doc Holliday.
Yep.
I'm a terrible cowboy. I only know him from his cameos. He was in that one Pixar movie with the
Ah,
dinosaurs.
What are the rules of bringing things into existence in this system? Can I bring Sam Elliott and Tombstone in here? Please,
Oh,
Famous theatrical actor.
please. A famous
Yeah.
actor that looks just like the Baron and
Listen, we've been through so many campaigns at this point. Y'all know we're gonna make some really anachronistic references in this. I
Yay.
don't fucking care.
By the by,
Do
Glass,
so.
there's a new show happening in the theater about a man who makes a devil's bargain and becomes a vengeful specter in which the devil's son hunts him for some reason. It's weird. It stars the guy who tried to steal the document from the
Are you
government.
making a Ghost Rider reference?
Oh yeah, Sam Elliott was in the sequel.
Nicolas Cage.
Yes, Nicolas Cage.
Oh, we're bringing the
I love
Cage into
him.
this too.
I love
That
him.
was a Ghost
Wow.
Rider reference. Yes,
I got there.
Yeah,
I got there with you.
Mhm.
because Sam
Mhm.
Elliott was a good Ghost Rider.
Sam Elliott
Yep.
was in Ghost Rider.
It's
it
called
was the sequel.
Spectral Driver.
Oh.
That really got Val. Huh?
It's a bit clunky, but I like the premise.
Let's not lie, like Ghost Rider on a horse is really badass.
Ghost Rider is
Well, yeah, because
Cowboy Ghost Rider was
when-
so fucking cool.
Yeah, with
It's
Sam.
cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
when that happened in the movie, I was like,
it was cool as
"That's
hell.
the cooler movie. Let's do
That is the better movie.
Unpopular opinion, I really like Jonah Hex.
I really
Yeah.
like Jonah Hex.
It's a wild movie.
Jonah Hex is a fun movie to watch, and that's
my God.
if you're not having fun watching a movie,
What are
then
you
the
doing?
movie then the movie is failed. Everything else aside, if it's not fun to watch, whatever. Ghost Rider. No, I like
Yeah,
Spectral
Spectral
Driver.
Driver.
We're keeping Spectral Driver.
Spectral Driver.
Oh, right, Ghost Rider is the
Which is
prequel.
also
That's a book. That's the book.
the
That's the book.
Spectral
Right, right,
Driver, the prequel to Baby Driver.
No, that's the sequel to Baby Driver.
the pre-sequel is sung by Dio. It's Holy Diver.
Oh, right. I don't
Are
think
we
I
playing a
realized all
game
those were in the
anymore?
same
Should I
universe.
go and
Yeah,
wrap this
I'm
up?
so lost.
I
Oh,
don't think I
no
realized
idea
those
what's
were.
happening.
Okay, well, so we have. I mean, we have to go.
We'll go to the theater.
Theater trip. Oh, unless this is just purely you two, then I can find my way some other time.
Oh,
We'll do a family dinner before a theater trip.
right, and we can decide what we're going to go see.
I'll get
Y'all
the
prairie
playbills.
dogs
Since
have
they've
anything
opened,
else
since
that
they've
you wanna
opened that,
discuss?
since they've opened that second stage, having the choice is incredible.
Yes, but there's a certain point where you sit down and you hear audio from both stages. It's really weird. Anyway, the jobs.
At least they're not making you wear those strange goggles anymore.
That was to help your eyes through the flash powder because that's super bad for
It
you.
just gave me a headache.
That's why you wear the glasses. What are we doing?
I don't know.
I lost track.
Drinking, I think.
We are now drinking in the lounge.
Oh,
I feel
All
like
right.
a lot of family dinners like devolve into this.
This is family dinner with my family. The Malort has come out.
Dear God, why?
At the
All
last
right.
at the last Thanksgiving with my parents, my dad had us doing tequila shots, so family dinner is just a whole experience for me.
yeah,
Fair.
that is fair. Okay.
Should we be doing something?
I think so because we're still streaming.
Oh shit. Hi everybody.
So,
Well, unless you wanna
Hello internet.
no, we're not going to start the heist now. I can't.
I thought you were gonna say unless you want to start the stream over.
Yeah, let's start.
Should we start over?
Let's take it from the top.
All right.
So
Marker,
Dress
previously-
rehearsal. Dress
uh,
rehearsal.
Yeah, previously on Hearts of Stone. No,
Nothing happened.
nothing happened. We talked about bullshit for an hour. I guess
like
my
10
only question is:
minutes.
there anything else they must do in free play, or are we going straight into another job?
I think we're doing a job, fellas.
Yeah.
Sounds like a job.
Yeah.
So y'all are going for turf. I can go ahead and check
We're
with y'all
going
which
the distance.
which
Going
which
Going
turf
for speed?
For speed.
are you going for?
Well,
all
we-
alone.
it sounds like we- It sounds like we actually want to have the gambling hall, right?
Yeah, we want to take cops shit.
All right, that's not an exact like that's not directly adjacent to us on the track right now.
It's not.
But it doesn't mean that we can't go for it.
Correct.
So we could, in theory, go for the gambling den and then circle back to turf.
Yeah,
and connect
we could
where
also,
we are and where the gambling den is and make that turf.
Yes, and we could also use the gambling den as like we can go like adjacent to the gambling den, I think. Is that
so let me get it up. Acquiring turf 93 for details. Gonna scroll.
Welcome to the crunch, folks.
Yeah, it's these downtime sessions are going to be like this until we get.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this to chat. If you don't like talking about game rules, this is not the game for you.
This is not the system for you.
This shit is meta as hell. But if you like
like,
check out Blades in the Dark. It's fun.
I mean, for as like smooth as the heists are, I don't mind the crunch and like the reward system.
Yeah,
no, it's
well,
kind of nice.
We're not spending like. If each heist was taking like 5 or 6 sessions, I would want to get through downtime so much fast because I'd be like, I don't want to waste a ton. Like I want to be able to get through stuff.
Well, I mean, the game is sort of built that way, though. It's like, okay, you do these jobs and they're fast and furious.
All pun intended.
Extremely intended. And then
downtime.
All of the development,
downtime.
The development and the crunch and the like spending time on things and character things and all of that stuff. It's like the opposite of D&D.
Yeah.
It's like kind of traditional D&D. You know, everyone who's watching this knows how we play D&D, but it's that flip-flop of like the combat and all of the, that stuff. The danger is like hit them quick, hit them hard, get out, and then all the other development happens a little more slowly.
Sorry, I just read a new rule. Your hunting grounds is Charter Hall. Never mind. I was double checking because there's apparently a mechanic with doing jobs in your hunting grounds that I missed, where you get additional downtime activities and +1 die to gather information. But that's not what we're doing here, because y'all are greasing your turf, which is taking me back to page 45.
So we are going directly for the gambling den on the map. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That seems to be the plan thus far.
I like it.
Mostly because it fucks over Cobb.
All right.
And
So another way to
also,
contribute to crew's development is by
good
acquiring
money for
turf.
us.
When you seize and hold territory, you establish a more stable basis for your rep. Each piece of turf that you claim represents abstracted support for the crew, often a result of the fear that you instill citizens on the turf. Turf is marked on your rep tracker.
But so we're not on the map on our character sheet. We're not technically going for turf right now.
Yeah. What is that? What is it called specifically?
On this, it is called
the things on the track.
Gambling den.
Yeah, no, that is that. Sorry, turf is
a thing to itself. There are
because on the map there are boxes marked turf. That's what I'm saying. Is that like this is discrete from that?
And that's what
these
we're
are
reading
claims,
about right now.
Right.
Yeah, claims. That's what we're looking for.
Claims. Seizing a claim to acquire...
Now I'm thinking about work again.
Yeah.
No, but so we're not. So like, if you look at we have layer in the center. Are you looking at our?
Okay, to acquire one for yourself, you have to take it from someone else. To seize a claim, tell the GM which claim on your map that your crew intends to capture. The GM will detail the claim with a location and description and tell you which faction currently controls that claim, or the GM might offer you a choice of a few options if they're available.
Yeah, because I think we were reading it as going directly for the one that says gambling den, and then coming back down to the turf square.
Yeah. So the rule here is if you choose to ignore the roadmap paths when seizing a claim, the GM might tell you that you'll need to investigate and gather information or discover a claim of that type before you can attempt to seize it. Not gonna do that. We already know one exists. Like that's already been established in fiction. Execute for any other score. If you succeed, you seize the claim, and the target faction loses the claim. Seizing a claim is a serious attack on that faction. Usually resulting in a -2 faction status with the target, and potentially a +1 status with its enemies. That will put you at -3 with the ink breaks. You will be at war with the ink breaks after that. Just so we know.
I have
which
friends to
makes
help with
sense.
that.
You're like taking their territory. You're going to be at
Yeah.
war with them.
are-
I think.
who
Let me double
are
check.
the
because
Ink
Who
Rakes
are their
enemies?
enemies?
Is it the red sashes? Is that
Uh,
possible?
the ink rakes are journalists, muckrakers, newspaper publishers of Dustfall.
Oh, that's gonna be great for our reputation.
The tabloids are going to be all about us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They don't have any notable allies. They
That's
just
good
have.
for us.
They only have one faction that are their enemies, and that is the Unseen.
So the
Um,
unseen may like us a little more if we do.
We
They might.
yank that gambling den out from under 'em. I
Uh,
like the sound of the unseen just based on the name alone.
Yeah.
As soon as you seize a claim, you enjoy the listed benefits. Some claims count as turf. Others provide special benefits for the crew. So this will not count as turf.
No,
So
the
you will
gambling
not-
den has a special ability.
Yes.
Yeah. So you get the special ability, but you do not get to reduce the amount of rep it takes for you
Yes.
to go up a tier.
Precisely.
correct.
Because that is literally all that Turf does.
Because this is a specialized location that already
Yes.
exists. We're not
This is-
claiming turf, we're seizing a claim.
Right. So I think the
Yes.
idea is seize that claim, and then the next big thing being let's expand the turf out so we can have that whole
Yeah.
section.
Block.
Like Turf is
Yeah, that
also
block.
considered a claim. Like everything on the ladder is a claim. Like
All turf
its
is a
own
claim,
specific
not
thing.
all claims are turf.
Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, you can go for something off the map because we've established this gambling den existing in fiction. I won't say you have to do anything additional to be able to seize it. I think that's fine. If y'all were to be like, oh, I want an infirmary or a hagfish farm or a drug den or something, we haven't established those in fiction, so I would make y'all do a little bit more investigating if you didn't have the connecting pathway to it. But if you establish the connecting pathway, then you don't have to do those additional steps to be able to find suitable
Yeah,
turf.
which is great because if we
or
do this
suitable
now,
claims.
we've then got pathways to come back down to turf. We've also got continuing to expand the operation because gambling den, the next step is tavern,
All right.
which we were
Well,
all
do-
also very excited about.
Mhm.
Do we have time to do the setup rules for the heist and not start
We've
the
got
heist necessarily?
13 minutes, so we could go ahead and do some of that if we wanted to. Just to go ahead and, like, if y'all want to know kind of the direction this heist is gonna go, so you can think about it over the next week, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
yeah.
Are you guys cool with it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So y'all are gonna go for the gambling den. We'll go ahead and talk about the score then.
It's exciting. We haven't gotten any claims yet.
Yeah, this is going to be really good for your group because the gambling den. What is it? Did we talk about what it does?
It's like +2 coin for
It's,
here. Let me open it up.
it says tier roll minus heat equals coin in downtime.
So what'll get to happen is if you succeed on this during your next downtime and during every downtime, you'll be able to roll equal to your tier. So right now you'd roll 2 dice and take the lowest, and then you subtract however much heat you've currently accumulated,
And
and you
money.
get that much coin.
It's passive
Uh,
income
Nice.
every downtime.
Yeah.
That's actually fantastic. That's
Yeah. So you may not get coin from that every downtime if your heat is at a high level, but that
but
seems
if
like
you
it would.
reduce your heat a lot, then that's a lot of coin.
Yeah, I mean y'all's heat right now is.
But we don't have any.
Yeah, you have 0 heat right now. So if you pull this job off without getting a lot of heat, you could get some extra coin next downtime.
It's a little passive income for
Exactly.
Yeah.
the
The next thing we
crew.
might want to look into is covert drops. Because,
Yes. I think that was number one on the
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes. I did a survey to see which ones we wanted to
Yeah,
prioritize.
Danae made a whole
and-
survey and a whole chart.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we can hit the
Covert
gambling
drops.
den.
It just made sense within the narrative. We wanted
Yeah.
to fuck up Cobb regardless.
Oh
So.
Yeah,
no, I think
For the
In
folks,
context.
for the folks watching, covert drops gives us a 2 coin for every espionage or sabotage
An additional
crime
2
we
coin.
do. Yeah,
What
additional
we
2
do.
coin. It's just 2 coin anytime we do one of those.
Yep.
So hit the gambling den, hit the covert drops, meet in the middle at some new turf.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Love it.
So let's talk about setup for this then, so we can get that on the board. Planning and engagement. What would you want? So I don't feel like I need to give you a lot of information on this. Like, there's not a lot said because we've already established a lot of that in the fiction. You know that this place is owned by the Ingrakes. You know it's a gambling den in Silkshore. You know that this person Cobb owns it and has recently been like, this is recent turf that's been acquired by the Ingrakes. Just as a little, like, because we talked about that last time, or in our like first session, that the Ingrakes recently have like pushed in and taken this turf. So what is the method that y'all want to use for what would your approach be on this? Assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport?
Well, we basically want to claim that territory, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
you don't want to burn it down.
No.
We want to oust Cobb and give ourselves the opportunity to swoop in and replace it.
And it
Right.
sounds like the best way to oust him would either be to
Get him sent to prison.
maybe deception, yeah, like getting him sent to prison, or I don't know, making him think the place is so haunted that he just runs out screaming.
That's what I was gonna say. Is a bunch of people just saw a ghost in a square in the middle of a crime.
I was gonna push to get him sent to prison, but the thing is if we like scare him away with ghosts,
he won't want to come back.
Then that means that we get to send him to prison later.
Yeah.
We just prolong his suffering.
What if we go occult and
you
we just
ruin this man's life and then send him to prison?
Honestly, he will thank us when he goes to
once
prison.
your one in level has gotten to like 4 and the result of it is like a death sentence, you send him to prison.
We send him to prison. Then we have to find a new Patsy. What if we just haunt? What if we haunt it? What if we haunt the place? What if we haunted mansion his ass?
Now, is that going to be a problem for us? Because then we have to run a gambling hall after that.
Not if we do it good. If we have somebody extremely well known or known to be competent come in and cleanse it afterwards.
Cleanse it.
Again,
this house
that's
is
part of
cleansed.
like planning consequences. We'll worry about that later on. But it sounds.
Here's my question. Are we actually gonna haunt the place, or are we gonna Scooby-Doo villain this shit?
I am okay
a
with
little
either.
bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
We can do both.
Listen, I have a headcanon that whenever we go into a mission and it has to be like the heavy low, we all go in with like masks on.
Yep.
So those would be, I will say, depending on whether you're Scooby-Dooing this or actually summoning ghosts, those are two different approaches. Because
let's keep Glass happy. Let's actually summon some.
I want to haunt it. Let me haunt it.
So you want to go with a cult then?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like from like a leverage perspective, like we could actually summon ghosts, but like make it seem like it's a lot worse than it actually is, because we want him to think that it's like unsalvageable, and then like it's just one ghost, so that we can get rid of it super easy. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, so here's the question: do we want to approach it with stealth and set up a bunch of bullshit, and then I'll just like summon a ghost, and then we just make it very dramatic?
I think if the crux of this, because again, broad strokes, if the crux of this is actually using arcane powers to accomplish your goal,
please let me haunt it.
It's still going to be a cult, whether you sneak in or not. Like that'll be your approach. Like that'll be your engagement role. It's kind of describing how we're getting it, because the next step, we'll get to that point once we actually get into the mission. But if like the core of this, the type of plan sounds like it's a cult, based on what we're doing.
I have a great plan.
So
I have a great plan.
Before we get to that, well, I guess this is part of that, because again, we don't plan, but we're gonna.
I have a general approach.
Well, so what is the arcane method? Is the question for a cult.
Jeez.
That doesn't give you options.
There's not a drop down for this one.
No, it is just the detail is the arcane method.
Summoning ghosts to haunt the place?
So like here's some things here.
I don't
Like,
think I understand the
and-
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are. If this gets into a mechanics of game that we haven't talked about yet, so we can talk about that now.
I thought it would take much longer to convince everyone to let me just haunt a place.
Getting into the weird and the
No.
strange of this, you could do it through a ritual, which like if you wanted to actually do a ritual to summon like to summon a bunch of spirits to this place, then there would be like setup and doing the like if you're wanting to use like a very specific arcane ritual to do it. If it's you want to like somehow acquire a bunch of ghosts and then set them loose in here, like putting a bunch of rats in a restaurant or something, that's another option. There are other methods that you can use to like draw spirits to a place. And like there's lots of things here, but you just need to describe to me for the detail is like what sort of arcane powers are you relying on here and what sort of arcane powers are you using? Because this could it's because we're doing the ghost thing that almost gets us to the detail and to the crux of it on its own, is that you're using spirits. You're somehow bringing a bunch of spirits in this place, because
I
a
literally
cult
have
could
an
be as
ability
broad-
that lets me summon spirits and tell them what to do, and they have to
Yeah.
do it.
and that could be like using a whisper to the detail could be using a whisper to summon spirits to the place, because a cult can be as broad, especially if you don't have a whisper in here, as like we summon a storm to
Oh, my other ability is that.
there you go.
It's not a joke. My other ability is Tempest.
Or
I would also like to point out that we do have an asset to help us with summoning.
yeah,
You know?
or you
I
make
think
a
we're
deal with
particularly
a demon
equipped for
to
this.
do this. Like there are lots of ways, but it sounds like y'all are just wanting to
If
Little-
Cuphead taught me anything, it's not to make deals with devils.
These are demons, though.
True.
are demons. Devils is just a catch-all for everything at cult in this world.
I
This
think
is a D&D. There's
That's
no
a little
distinction.
reductive, but all right, I'll
No,
wait.
everything that is a cult, including people that do occult stuff, are referred to as devils by the populace. But demons are the actual kind of like.
Well, I'm
bad
Tycherosi,
supernatural
and
stuff.
everybody here thinks that they have demon blood, so...
It's true.
So it sounds to me, based on what you're saying, the arcane method is glass.
Use our whisper.
Using your whisper to bring ghosts into this place,
Yes.
which is easy
Yeah.
because y'all have a whisper to use for this job.
Me.
I suppose the assumption is that you may not have a whisper.
Yeah, well, because like some crews might not. You might actually have to go and recruit a whisper to do this, and that would be part of the job. To
You know what?
to do
Fun.
that.
Fun concept. A cultist crew that has no whisper.
Just always hiring different whispers to do things. It'd be a great way to never get caught doing crime.
That's true.
All right. So we're
It's your
using a
skeleton crew.
That's the
Hey.
detail.
That's good.
We're running near on time. Let's leave the rest. So we know our approach now.
I
and
know
we
exactly
the
how I want to
detail.
handle this.
Well, we will get into that because we'll have to do the engagement roll and see where you end up, and then we can decide how you get your mind's image to that point. So
So we're gonna kick it off with the engagement roll next week.
yeah, next week we'll decide.
Any
item
info gathering?
do you need to do any info gathering?
We need to know if his mom's still alive.
Oh,
I do need to know
True.
that. Can that be our info
Uh,
gathering?
you can do
Just
some-
because we have information doesn't mean that we can't get very personal.
Yeah, we could get more.
information.
Yeah, I mean, because if you wanted to play if you wanted to push the detail so that it is like more specific to like using a whisper to summon the spirit of his dead mom.
No, to
It's-
make it appear that way. Make it say things that might be
Listen,
his mom.
It's not that we're gonna summon like his dead mom. We convince her to help us prank him.
I mean, I'll summon his dead mom.
Much worse.
But either way, like we can get so we could do info gathering for that.
He's
if we
in
wanted to.
he's an NPC in an RPG. Nine times out of 10, his mom's dead.
Mom's dead.
Typically for
No.
info gathering, we only do that if we need more information for the detail. Of
Yeah,
the
but what if we
plan.
want more?
Well, then you do that
For the
during the
detail.
job. Then we
Okay,
do a
all right.
flashback.
Okay.
And we do that during the
All right.
Fine.
job. And I am holding us to the rules of this.
I just
game.
have a really cool thing that lets me do info gathering before
Yeah,
we
and you
start.
could do that. You could do that during the job too, if we get to a point. But we could, if at the beginning of next session we want to tweak the detail a little bit, and y'all want a little more information to be able to tweak that detail.
Okay, fine. I'll do his grandma instead.
That's
I'll have to
extra.
I'll have to do some fortune rolls to see who's alive and who's not.
Do people
all right.
in this setting really live to be grandparents?
Not typically.
Okay, I'll bank on that one.
But yeah, and then we'll
I'm
do.
gonna summon Meemaw.
So we'll do our engagement roll, and then we'll play it out. It sounds like this heist might be pretty straightforward. This might be a short
I'm
one.
so excited.
But
to
we
haunt.
will,
And then
I mean,
This asshole.
unhaunt.
I mean, if that's the case, my goal is to one day get 2 heists in one game.
Yeah.
because that's my whole plan is to haunt his ass until he super doesn't want to be there anymore. Kick him out. Scoop the
Or he
business.
becomes a liability and everybody else is like, get your ass out of here.
Yeah,
so.
they
Yeah.
kick him out because his Meemaw's haunting the place. Scoop this shit out from under him, and then very publicly, whether it's real or not, because the ghosts have to do what I say,
Yeah.
do a fun little cleansing, and now it's a great place for everyone to be.
yeah.
So like, oh wow, look at us, we're the heroes.
That's where I am.
But yeah, I mean, doing 2 heists in one game, definitely doing 2 scores in one game, definitely possible. Is if we get on the ball and y'all know which way you're going with
But
it.
next week it's
So
gonna be Score City.
It
I mean,
sounds
once-
it really sounds like y'all could do. If you roll well enough, you could knock this one out of the park, and then we can move right back on to downtime.
I am
and-
gonna haunt this.
Well, now this confidence is kind of concerning me.
And then I'm excited for when some of these faction clocks finally finish.
I'm
and then we'll get
manifesting.
that in play.
We're gonna haunt this man.
Fuck up
Alrighty.
his
Well,
life.
You guys have a
Let's-
week to come up with fun ghost shenanigans you want me to do.
perfect.
I'm taking
We'll be thinking.
suggestions.
We'll be thinking.
I'm very. And what's gonna be really funny is you just like botch your first roll and you end up with a spirit that goes out of control again.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Somebody's getting possessed.
I'll handle it.
Also, something to keep in mind is
Ooh,
that
maybe it'll be
any
Cobb.
non-whisper person who sees a ghost has to roll to resist like
Terror.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys got to be careful around the ghosts.
So something to keep in mind.
Cool.
Y'all are as fun as we have with this out of character. Y'all's characters are generally not comfortable around ghosts.
Yeah, this
so,
this could be bad.
I am.
but yeah, let's go and do our starts and wishes, and we'll call it there since we are over time. We just want to go in order, like usual.
Sure.
All right, Van, kick us off.
Hi, it's me. My star goes to one very specific moment, and it's Fume being told to go clean up Glass's room and then walking in and screaming. It was such a funny reaction. And it stuck with me the whole session. I loved it. It was very funny, it was very genuine, and I just loved it a lot.
He wasn't screaming about the head, he was screaming about the upholstery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of
And that's
course.
what I loved about it the most. It was wonderful. I don't know, it's a little small moment. I just thought it was a really fun little character moment. I loved it. My wish is I want I want to haunt this man. But we're gonna do that. So my wish, I gotta get like in with the Dimmer sisters. That's what I want to do.
They are cool.
That could be very useful.
Yeah, I want to get in with them. I'm hoping, well, Glass is hoping too, that maybe they made enough of an impression that maybe they will call upon them for something that needs to be done. But I'm definitely going to show back up one way or the other.
Yeah, you could always approach them for a job. That's always an option.
Yeah, I want to put that one in the back pocket.
Okay. Awesome.
Making
Thank
eyebrows
you.
at wings.
Sid, what you got?
Also, talking about the severed head, my star goes to Grackle for as soon as everyone was just talking about the head, just very calmly and collectedly going, I'm sorry, what head? What? what are we
this
talking
one.
about? Oh, that one. All right. I didn't know about that one. Like just
Wait a second, I recognize that man. I killed him.
No, you don't.
No.
He haunts my dreams.
I feel very bad about that.
Oh.
It's okay, Grackle. I forgive you.
Oh, in the chaos, I did pick up his library card, so.
I wear it.
Oh, all's forgiven. I have made peace.
Problem solved.
I just feel, I guess just around decapitated heads, everyone's like true nature comes out, and it's really great. So it's some good character moments. That was a really weird sentence that I just said.
I'll keep introducing decapitated heads into our game.
That was not my intention for saying that.
Yay,
In
more
any
ghosts
way.
for me.
I just like regular
Oh,
coffee,
it's
not
Veritas?
decapitated.
I just haven't
Latin
gotten the
for head.
chance for a character to
Boo.
just casually throw a decapitated head on
Oh, that's
to a
pretty close.
floor. So, more opportunities I get for that, the better.
And caput et veritas.
Wish. Yeah, I am looking forward to just sort of laying out some groundwork about the Baron to Grackle. It's gonna take a bit, but I am definitely looking forward to that reveal. Also, looking forward to doing some research on books. Should be fun. That's me.
We all know how much Fume likes books. Everybody in this group is such a fucking nerd.
Apparently, we really like books.
Yeah. We didn't have enough books in the season about words, so gonna introduce it in the season about murder.
We had like little inticulates.
Yeah. It's funny. All right. Thank you, Sid. RJ.
Hello, everyone. Golly. You know what? I'm going to give a star to everyone for the disassociative fueled fucking conversation about the theater. That was really good, and I think I got Val really good with Spectral Driver.
You did. That caught me off guard.
I want to go to theater with everyone. Have a chill day.
That sounds fun.
That's not fun.
Also, I want more of your backstories, motherfuckers.
Well, that's what the free play
You
is
got a
for. So
little
whenever
taste.
y'all are free
A little
to,
bit.
y'all are always welcome to hang out in free play for as long as you want to do those scenes. We all were so gung ho about starting on this next heist. I was like, all right, let's go for it, fuckers.
We have all the time in the world for the camp screen, but when the mission happens, it's go, go, go.
Yeah.
We had exhausted all of our unlocked dialogue trees.
Uh-huh.
You have to get to the next level of affection to unlock
That's-
the rest of the
pretty much
dialogue.
it.
We
Yeah.
finally reached a point where nobody still wanted to talk to us when we were trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
Exactly.
exclamation points are gone.
We're gone. Yeah.
If you want to raise affinity with Grackle, you have to give her jerky and coffee.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Oh, hey, it's me. My star is going to Sid for very smart and calculating dissemination or lack thereof of information. I think that keeping Grackle in the dark is actually the right choice, and I think it's very cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that pans out.
Salome
Um,
does nothing without thinking about it.
I have actually done this in the past, like with other players in this game who have been like, "Hey, like Grackle knows this," and I'm like, actually, I don't think she does. I think it's more interesting if she doesn't,
yeah.
because then there's the potential to find stuff out, and that's always more interesting.
Yeah, and I'm glad we had the conversation because I did not want my prodding to be taken as you need to do this right now.
Yeah,
It's mainly
yeah.
because I'm a slut for that drama and I want to see it happen, but I'll wait. That's fine.
Yeah.
Y'all will get there.
My wish is for us to master the rules enough for us to get 2 heists in one game. That's just
I think that's a really good goal. Let's just slam them out. two in a session.
2 in a session is a dream, but I think with this group we could probably do 3.
Oh God,
three
wouldn't that be
ice-
cool?
I'm very confident
That
we
Ooh.
could do
requires some
3.
really good rolls.
Okay, you know what? Like, I just, like 3 really simple ones, like maybe just for like coin or something. But yeah, like let's like keep our goals achievable right now. But like,
Yeah.
that's a nice 3 is a nice pipe dream.
I mean,
2 is an
y'all go-
actionable goal. Yeah.
Yeah, my eyes like turn into stars thinking about 3 heists in one session.
Really,
But like
if y'all
2 is okay.
if y'all go into, it's really like a matter of how much time you'll spend in downtime. If y'all get through the downtime stuff fast, like the heists write themselves, the scores write themselves. So like
For sure. For
yeah.
sure.
I think if we're to do that, it would have to be after one of these sessions where we had just an entire downtime episode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then next session you can be like, all right, I'm just gonna like
Go,
stress,
go,
heal,
go.
I'm good. Like, let's move on. We got another job to do.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea.
Listen, I'm
This
down
game-
for it.
This game has a lot of potential in those terms.
Yeah. I mean, I told you all up front, like I want to be burning through like scores. Like I don't want it's like, combat and idiot, like I don't want that to be the focus where we're spending, weeks and weeks, unless it is a very important score with like big ramifications for your characters. But stuff like this, grabbing turf, yeah, we can get through that as long as y'all roll well enough and overcome the challenges I set for you expediently. We can definitely do that. So
Oh my god, speaking of, we're not calculating experience today, right? Because we didn't do any
fuck no,
scores.
we still do character experience.
Yeah, because you do roles that
We do still do all the experience stuff at the end. Thank you for asking. Yeah,
I'm not
'cause
expecting a lot though.
yeah, so let me just go through
Well,
that
I'll
real
just remind
quick.
you guys, we only need 1 more crew XP to level up the crew.
I think you might get it. But
So-
let's do PC advancement first, and then I'll let Van do crew advancement.
will you?
Sorry.
Damn,
Yeah.
get their ass.
Yeah.
Get him!
Wow.
I know who's in my corner.
I thought, Van, you were gonna jump on top of it as well.
Damn it. Good.
All right, RJ, I got your number. I see
You
where you're
do.
at.
I had to call you from the airport.
Yeah, I guess he's not picking you up from the airport again. Guess he's ignoring that call.
I
next
picked
time.
his ass up last time.
I don't remember. No, I did.
The 2 of you did.
We
Yeah,
were there,
okay.
and then I dropped you off at work.
Yeah.
So I was in charge.
Yeah.
This is not
All
important.
right. It's not important. So there were no desperate actions this time. No EXP for that. Playbook specific triggers. Anybody hit those?
Address everything with calculation or conspiracy. Yeah.
Knowledge or arcane power.
Address the challenge with technical skill or mayhem. I'm gonna say the challenge was my leg.
Expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Does speaking in a funny accent count?
I
I did
mean,
a simile.
the drives of the group, or at least I don't know. Salome's drives are like taking care of our own. So continuing to
Yeah.
make Cobb's
what?
life a living hell, I feel like is definitely expressing drives.
Yeah, Grackle
Actually-
spent a not insignificant amount of time being pretty pissed about Skurlock getting him without her knowing.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to justify giving myself an experience for the fact that Grackle has suddenly grown this like moral compass that requires her to take care of people that she's killed on accident.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
that
fair.
that sounds like drives or beliefs to me.
Okay, so we did the playbook specific. We did beliefs, drives, heritage, background, and then struggle with issues from your vice or trauma. I don't think I may have any issues with her vice today.
Not yet.
And nobody's
quite.
having any trauma. Okay. And
I
then
leveled up my resolve.
nice.
I leveled up my insight.
Nice.
I leveled up my playbook.
Which
Nice.
That if we level up in an attribute, we just get another pip, right?
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
pip wherever you want.
Hey, Danae.
I have
Yes.
3 and a 2.
Guess who knows how to shoot?
Hey, take my
In the
scope,
chat, I
my
got it
son.
wrong.
Don't shoot anybody.
I don't think my blowgun will reach anyone from here, but I do have great lung capacity.
All right, man. You hit us with the crew advancement questions.
At the end of each session, for each item below, mark 1 XP or 2 XP if it occurred multiple times. Execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft operation.
No.
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 Contend with challenges above your current station.
Soon.
Coming.
Yeah.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
No. This was very internal.
But I am going to argue for the last one. Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. I think the crew as a group was on display.
This is our found family. Sadly.
The essential nature of the crew is shitting on Cobb, so
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
You don't fuck with ours.
I think we did that.
Is the
pretty clearly.
bonding element of our found family, we just pick a new person to pick on every week that
Yes.
just fucked us over?
Yeah. Just like leverage.
We are basically leverage.
That means we level
Uh,
up.
yeah.
We only need one.
So I guess let's do that too.
What do we get
what do
when we
y'all-
level up? Dang.
So this
Yeah.
is
A story of a girl who cried the river and drowned.
Yeah, so you can take a new special ability, or you can mark 2 crew upgrade boxes.
Yeah.
And each PC gets stash equal to the crew tier plus 2.
So 2.
Dang, okay.
So all of you get 2 stash.
Ghost echoes. From weird experience or occult ritual, all crew members gain the ability to see and interact with ghostly structures, streets, objects within the echo of Decibel, and they exist within the ghost field.
We get ghost sight.
Essentially, yeah.
We gain the ability to interact with, like, basically ghostly objects. What is a clandestine infiltration?
So remember when I went to that Westboro Baptist Church meeting,
Oh my god.
and then I spiked their punch with alcohol?
We're getting a little too close to real world events that I don't want to talk about.
Yep.
Sorry. That was actually neuron activated. There was no conscious thought behind that.
We'd never accuse you of having a conscious thought.
Thank you. I'm so sorry.
Uh,
I guess do we want to build? Because we had talked about taking patron, which is the thing that costs half the coin to advance our tier. So we go ahead and take that, or we could save that, and we could take either a couple more upgrades or one of these other abilities.
Getting that second secure layer.
would be really good, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we get to Mark II is.
So we could, I mean, we could
great.
take the second secure layer and the second vault, and we could just max those out.
Yeah.
I mean,
That would
yeah,
give
yeah.
us
And then
improved
consider special
defenses.
abilities
Yeah, improved
for the next
defenses to
one.
include arcane measures that work against spirits. And then we'd max out the vault, and that bit of the vault that we're not using can also be used as a holding cell if it's empty.
I think story-wise that makes a lot of sense because that was on Salome's radar today.
Mhm.
She's like, we do need to get our wards up. And it makes a lot of sense for us to, like, ward our building before we dump a bunch of ghosts on somebody.
Yeah.
Well,
And the
especially
Grackles
since
do need to
follow
nest
us home.
somewhere.
y'all know you're gonna end up going to war with the ink rakes after this too. so-
Yeah.
We're gonna
For
be
for sure.
at war with the ink rakes, and we're already in like the shit house with
In doo-doo with the
Hive.
hive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So securing up as best
Okay.
as possible sounds like a good idea.
Right, so we got
You
one
know,
more
guys,
upgrade.
I can't lie. I'm not fussed about going to war with Duskfall's Jonah Jameson.
No, I'm not either. We can be Spider-Man, that's fine.
Just so y'all know too, because I don't think I said, when you're at war with any number of factions, your crew suffers +1 heat from scores, temporarily loses 1 hold, and PCs get only 1 downtime action rather than 2.
Oh, because
You know-
we're not as free.
Yeah,
Well, you know what? That sounds like 1 more heat for us to reduce in our gambling hall and get more coin.
you can end a war by eliminating your enemy or by negotiating mutual agreement. So that'll probably be your next thing that you need to do with immediately after this.
Just
is
deal
like,
with the war.
how do we deal with the ink rakes?
Right. What is the second upgrade that we
Because
want?
JJJ is about to.
I would say
fucking
the
go to
vault
town on
layer,
you.
You guys want to max out the vaults and then
because it'd be good to have the space for the cache so we can level up
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, do vaults and layer,
Okay.
both of them.
Yeah.
secure layer and vault layer we've maxed out. So vault capacity is 16, and a separate part of our vault can be used as a holding cell.
Woohoo!
So
Rad.
we have a holding cell. We've got the full vault, and our layer has locks, alarms, traps, and also arcane measures to protect against spirits.
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah, I love that
Alright.
for us. And then next time we can consider taking a special ability.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
now
I'm
we don't
looking
have any,
at-
like, half-grabbed upgrades.
I'm looking real hard at Patron.
Yeah. I
Want
think
that
that
to
helps
be
us
your-
move up in the world.
Because going up a tier is
should-
expensive. Like halving it is like a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Should that be our not a vampire buddy?
Maybe.
Tap Skurlock as our patron.
Maybe.
Ooh, I like that.
I like
that
that
could be
a lot.
very fun.
I like that a lot.
Has nobody
do-
considered this? That feels obvious.
You do have a +1 with Skurlock. So
He likes me.
he is.
And then
helpful.
we'll be his obedient servants.
Hey!
Oh boy.
Yay, I love this wet cat.
That's a great idea. I think we have a great sort of next few sessions plan, actually.
Y'all got a plan.
I
All
feel
right.
like we're basically going to be the equivalent of like Nimona and like Blackheart. Like, where are your minions? And it's all like, you're what now?
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm sure this will all play out exactly the way that you want it to.
We're succeeding.
As always.
Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and call it.
Say
there.
goodbye.
Say goodbye. Thank you, everyone out there, for watching. Very much appreciate you sticking with us as these sessions get longer and longer, but we're having fun, so we're just gonna do our thing. We will be back next Saturday to continue. In the meantime, join us on Monday for the next episode of Red Jenny, and then for all of our streams throughout the week. You can check out our full schedule below our faces. You're watching us live on Twitch, and then also a plug again because Van and I both mentioned at the beginning of the stream. Join tomorrow over on Helby Hackman's channel. We're gonna be playing Alien, the Alien TTRPG, where nothing bad will happen to any of us. We're playing Chill Colony Sim. No, but for real, it's probably gonna get pretty gnarly. So come hang out with us for that. Thank you, my lovely players, for making this game a joy to run and being as awesome as always. And thank you for everyone else out there in the chat for joining us. We will see you in 1 week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.